but a scratch.
A lot of the British attitude can really be pointed to our very long and brutal history. We've had tons of wars and plagues and religious upheavals. All of these things have kind of led to British people sort of having doubt and distrust into the future. Like, yeah, it might be going well now, but tomorrow a swarm of Belgians might come over and behead us. Understanding our history gives us this cautiousness to being too optimistic about the future. As well, you have to combine the religious attitudes of the Church of England. The Church of England was very much a believer in the idea of original sin. The idea that humans have fallen from God, we're all inherently bad, although we do have the ability to be somewhat redeemed. This has engineered a sort of attitude of cautious optimism. We're not entirely 100% pessimists. All of this combined with the fact that our weather is pretty shit.
Rain, rain, rain. Us Brits endure it on 199 days of every year.
You could literally have a week of sunshine in England and think, you know what, this Saturday, let's go for a picnic with the family. And then because your dad showed some optimism in the weather, God will smite you with a torrential downpour for the next month. And so this general attitude can be completely contrasted with American optimism. And that stems from, ultimately, if you're the type of person to leave Britain,
that was funny, what was it?
That, you know, has infrastructure.
Show it again.
With American optimism. And that stems from, ultimately, if you're the type of person, family, and then pick a week of sunshine in England and think, you know what, this Saturday, let's go for a picnic with the family. And then because your dad showed some optimism in the weather, God will smite you with a torrential downpour for the next month.
Yes! Ah, nature smacks you in the face with a fish. It's the lesson you should take, kids. You think that you have this all sussed out, but I mean, like, I've got it all sussed out. We've got the guns, the dogs, the help, the people, the surroundings, the security, the food, the water, the like all the stuff that you need to survive. This summer, my parents are growing like 80% of the... Oh, no, am I dying? Yeah, I'm dying. Are growing 80% of their food out of their garden. You know, basically they buy meat. That's it. There's just an example. Now, would I be like that? Not so much. No, I'm much more off of like a fixed income type of person. But where I live, we're strong like that. Now, why won't you? Oh, because I'm paralyzed. Yeah, because I'm paralyzed, and you won't sick. You're so annoying. So annoying that you can't sick Pat. Just there we go. He's trying to silence me. Dear God, why? You dumb gob. Brass ingot. Now that'll sell. That's pure money. Yup, I found my spot. This is where I'll sit. Stupid gob. Football in the groin has a football in the groin. Fish face. Fish face is what I typed it in. Girl gets knocked out by fish original. Yeah, get knocked out by fish. Yeah, the original. I'm here. I'm trying to like stand out here with a webcam, like the elements don't exist. I'm ready to like be here for the world or whatever. No, and nature's like, nah, I get fish slapped. you got fish slapped, B. Oh, you got fish slapped right in your face, bitch. You got fish slapped. Fish slapped. Fish slapped. The fish isn't happy about it. The fish is probably dead. Honestly, this fish is like, oh god, that hurts so bad. Hitting your head totally stunned me. My entire body is bruised and I can't move. And the fish is probably not happy about it either. The fish is probably like, this is fish abuse, damn it. I'm gonna leave a comment on this video. I'm gonna leave a comment on this fucking video. This is fish abuse. This is fish abuse. No, I'm not gonna do this. How much money did this viral video make? Yes, fish slap. Fish slap. I think it's staged. It looks staged. No, that's real. Nice. It was real. Hell's yeah. Fish slap! Get fish slapped.
Be completely contrasted with American optimism. And that stems from, ultimately, if you're the type of person to leave Britain, a established nation that, you know, has infrastructure, etc., hop on a boat, travel for weeks, months across uncharted waters to arrive on uncharted lands, to do that, you need at least an ounce of optimism. Look, water, lands in the distance, see? Mate, you've been saying that for the last
water,
three
lands
fucking
in the
icebergs.
distance.
Oh, look,
Last three
look,
fucking
you see it?
icebergs.
Another fucking iceberg.
Another
I'm
fucking
tired of this.
iceberg.
And then
Another
after
fucking
discovering this new land, which was a crazy thing to go and do, America then went through two great awakenings. I don't know what happened in the first one, if they just hit snooze or something, but the first great awakening was in 1730 to 1740, and then the second one in 1795 all the way up to 1835. So what happened in this was that the religious attitudes of America had evolved. New ideas around like self-improvement, the idea that everyone has the ability to shape their own destiny and their own future. Humans can be better, they can improve society, they can make and create things that make the world better.
Everybody, I know you can believe in yourself.
They had strong convictions around the importance of working hard, as well as very pragmatic attitudes, the idea that things should be done well and efficiently. These last two led to a very strong cultural focus on capitalism and efficiency in business, in which all of this manifested itself in the idea of the American dream.
The American dream is just the ability to achieve. Anybody can do it, but you're not just gonna get it because you want it. You gotta be willing to work hard.
That's what I'm doing. I'm fucking working hard. I don't care what everybody says. They can see the years and years of fucking streaming and they can understand. Or they can't. And they can just attack me. Or whatever.
You gotta apply faith. You gotta apply persistence.
I think after seeing me here for 3.5 years, I think they understand I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm not fucking stopping. Okay. 108 gil is actually not that bad for these goblins. That's good. That's good income.
Never ever give up.
So basically, the idea of the American dream is that any old piece of shit, old Bob who still lives at home with his parents, 40 years old, anyone can go and do anything they want to in life.
That Americans are told they can become the next president of the United States. And they can. British people are told it won't happen to you. And they carry that. They carry that with them.
I know what's probably going through your head. You might hear that and think, fucking hell, why are Britons so pessimistic? I mean, we literally had the biggest empire on earth. Why are we so deflated? And so that leads us to a very core cultural difference between England and America, and that is class structure.
I was brought up in a poor family, you know. Really, we had nothing, really. If I could get in a position with some of them people, I would like to be in it. Are these laws or ladies or peers or you talking about these two class of people?
The person's family started with William the Conqueror.
In Britain, the idea of class and where you stand socially has been a very core part of our identity. Until very recently, as a Brit, your whole life was decided before you were born. These differences between the upper class and the working class has existed through most of British history. There's like this idea that the upper class are pure blood. They were like chosen by God. They had divine rights. They literally referred to themselves as blue-blooded. And they were much better than the grunts working the coal mines to power their beautiful machinery. And so there's always been this attitude in England of like judgment between the classes. The upper class and the working class hate each other. And class is interesting because it's not just defined by wealth.
We give dinner parties 2 or 3 times a week. This enables us to keep in touch with our wide circle of friends.
We give a wine and cheese do once a month. This enables us to do it on the cheap.
Her mother comes round Saturday nights and drinks my Guinness. This enables her to get drunk for nothing.
It's the accent you talk in, the way you behave, the schools that you're educated in. If you're from Cambridge School of Witchcraft and Wizardry versus the community college in Shittham, literally everything you did would be defined by class.
Cambridge School of
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
People in general feel this kind of thing weighing down upon them, and I can't put it into words of what it is. I think people watching this will understand that you feel it pushing you down all the time.
And so there's this understanding that there isn't much class mobility. If you are lower class, even if you got wealthy,
that's
you
how I
never
feel.
Be upper class. No
yeah, that's why I don't worry about it. It's like a secret, and I never say it because it's kind of loser talk. But I know that my parents' inheritance is the best that I'm gonna do because the class system is real. And I might survive past it, or rise past it as a streamer or whatever. And more power to myself if I do so. Is it likely for me to do that? No. Should I hold my breath and try? Yes, but I'm not hold my breath. But should I try? Yes, but should I hold my breath? No. Because like the likelihood of it is the same thing as becoming Kobe Bryant. That might happen, but I mean it's like probably not. So I just go on trying to be myself. Maybe I'm somebody's cup of tea eventually. Maybe I'm not. Who cares? I just do it. I fucking do it. And that's the thing. It's like I think everybody else is like, I have to do this and I have to be rich in 3 to 5 years. And I don't know. I can't justify it, how to pay rent if I don't actually work or anything like that and all this weird shit. And I'm like, nah. My whole thing is like, if you know what your passion is and you wish to share it with people and you want to do it for free, anything else that happens is just good. Like, if I'm gonna do this for free for 50 years. If you guys give me donations, I love you, thank you, that's good. If you don't, you don't. I love you, thank you, that's good too. It's fine. It's whatever. It's not gonna ever change. It'll change when I die, or I run out of energy, or I get sick or unhealthy or something, or whatever. I don't know. Or somebody kills me, or some fucking punk I roughed up way back comes back from way back when, or whatever bullshit, like weird, like cliche shit happens. Whatever happens, I'm gonna be here until then, or whatever. This guy had a lot of stuff, and he did not care that I just jacked him to his fucking face. I don't think he's even in the room anymore. He's here, but he's just standing around. I was thinking about robbing you, Savro Soren, or whatever the fuck. Which I suppose some thieves can do, huh? Red apple, that's it, huh? You're poor. If you're a broke mage guild master, then just say so. Oh, thank God his back was turned. He didn't see it, but I did. Now I kind of need to use this alchemy thing. I stripped him. Look, I've gotten so good at stripping whole rooms. Look, I stripped this whole room. I took anything even remotely visible. There's nothing left. And I did it in like fucking 90 seconds or something too. It didn't take me very long. I'm sure some of these bags I missed, but I just don't care. I don't fucking care about all this. So, yeah, it's time to use the alchemy lab. Gotta make sure that you don't disconnect me from Mortal. Don't disconnect me from Mortal. My bear seems to stop following me a lot, which is kind of weird. Did I already hit this one? Yes. Did I hit this one? I better go dump in the bank. I don't have that much. No, I don't have that much. It's fine. I don't have that much yet. Let's feed the bear. Man, it was a rain season where I live. Feed the bear. Feed the bear. Feed the bear. Yeah. Oh, look, there's a guard right here, which makes all of these trees accessible, too. They can't do shit to me here, either. They'll just die. So, chop, chop. Okay, so, fuck, I'm like full. I guess I'll leave and I'll go like sell just because I can. Is it faster to walk? I think it's faster to walk. I came here with a full inventory and I shouldn't have done that. I need to empty out because these things have like way too much stuff. I am enjoying grinding. Why? Okay, so dumb. I don't really know if the Octave Club is that good on as a main weapon, but it is good. It allows you to block for one thing. Shit, did I go the wrong fucking way? No, I went the right way. This game is beautiful from time to time. Like moon setting, there's like a purple sky. Frames are good finally. Gotta go sell. Oh, I'm not sure. I came back to the vendor for some reason. Why did I come back to the vendor? I came back here to, like, sell or send shit, I guess. Send shit, I guess. Wait, it's 8 in the morning. I have to buy the silver. I don't have any room. I have to send things or sell things. Where's the vendor? Will the vendor buy stuff from me? No, but one of these things probably will. Hurry up, you. You're annoying me. Yeah, doesn't the basement sell stuff or whatever? My god, my crock pot smells good. I can't wait to eat. It's gonna be like an hour, but still. Okay, brass ingot and mythical beast coins are genuinely really good. So is all that stuff. The bird blood can sell. There's 400. Invisible, silk thread, doll mummy can sell. I don't really have an interest in it. The giant femur will sell. I mean, I'll just take the liquid gill. Yeah, and I'll send like a ton of stuff over to the alt. And stick fire crystals in my storage if I can afford to. I don't know if I can. Fucking annoying, I have to climb up, huh? Yeah. Nope, wrong one. God damn it. $56 out of 60 on Zozo chest key. I guess we stack stuff. I mean, I don't have any room here. I'm gonna have to like send. Fuck it, I'll just send. I can always send. It doesn't really matter. Yep, send all that stupid crap. I didn't receive, huh? Damn it. That's okay. Oh,
Demoralization spawned a attitude in British people that things can't really get that much better. I'm always going to be judged from basically the background that I'm from. In America, as I explained with the American Dream, the attitude is that anyone can be anything. Americans love the idea of the rags to riches story, the underdog archetype that you see in films like Pursuit of Happiness or The Founder. Class does exist in America, but it is very
Founder
different.
was good. I
You're
hate that I like The Founder. But I thought The Founder was a genuinely fucking good movie. I've liked everything Tom Hanks has ever done, honestly. But I hate Ray Kroc, and I hate McDonald's, and I hate the fucking capitalist stooges that they are, and I hate that they produce like 100,000 little middlemen, and I don't know, it's just like whatever. I don't hate McDonald's, but I just like, you know, I've never really liked McDonald's footprint on my country. I think it left a bunch of fat kids who, like me, who were just into bad food, like me. And I just don't know if that was good. I don't think that was good. I grew up to celiac disease because I believed that everything should be a sandwich or a hamburger. And I know where that came from. It's McDonald's. McDonald's and like, I don't know, my home life was sandwiches. If it wasn't sandwiches, it was like McDonald's. And like, so I believed that sandwiches and burgers, I should have them all the time. That's not right. That's how I ended up getting celiacs. All sandwiches and burgers really are bread, and so if you eat like sandwiches all the time, you just get celiac disease. It's stupid. You get a wheat allergy.
Racial divides. But I do, as a British person, quickly want to make a caveat.
Especially if you live off bread. If you like live off bread, if you like steal or eat bread and you're on the streets or whatever, and you just only eat bread, you will get sick. Wow, all her money is gone, which is freaky to me. All my money's gone. That's not too good. Oh, I have to earn money now. I can't sit on that hardcore character forever. I can't really afford it. At least there is some income here, you know, at least. I started posting a whole bunch of crap. Yeah, there's gonna be like a whole bunch of crap I can sell at least. The enter key is starting to work again. And I wonder if I should put, like, should I just put the fucking... The enter key seems like it's working now. Maybe I should just put the key back on it. Let's see. No, this key will not fit this fucking keyboard. Which is so stupid. Why? Yeah, what about something else? Like, can we do something else? Like, I don't know. Like that key. Like that key. Will that key work? Are they all the same thing? No, they're not the same thing. Not at all, no. Damn it, get off this thing. It's fine. In like 3 days, I'm ordering another one of these. And it'll be here in like a week. I have to deal with this keyboard for another week, but it's fine. Every year I break like a keyboard and a mouse. So annoying. I don't know what I will do for dinner. I think I will have potatoes and yams and beef with cheese. Yeah, I'll probably do cheese on top. That'll be amazing.
British people have never had like outright defeatism. British people will try in life. They'll try very hard, but we just don't like to get our hopes up. We are optimistic, but just in a very cautious way. Like, Americans might aspire to be a millionaire CEO of a big tech startup, whilst British people will aspire to one day shop at Waitrose.
My wife likes to shop at Waitrose.
Or Walmart. In America, it's like aspire to... In America, my dream is to be able to have enough money to shop at Walmart. I never have my entire goddamn life. I've never understood people who are able to afford shopping at Walmart. You understand? I've never even had that kind of goddamn money, really. Like, you know... For one thing, where I lived, there wasn't a Walmart close. There's no Walmart in Platt Park or even close to it. You gotta go all the way down to fucking... like Santa Fe and Hampton, which to me is like a 10-minute drive or something. It's not really worth it. You just go to Safeway, which is like 5 minutes away, like, or whatever, or Albertsons, or like King Soopers. All of those are closer. All of them are closer. Like, Walmart was not close where we were growing up, which is stupid. Now, we went out of our way to go to Walmart a lot, but I didn't shop there like every day at all. I considered it a luxury when I went to Walmart. I was like, wow, that must be nice. Like, my money is like, I have like maybe $140 to spend on food, and I gotta go to the Safeway and blow all $130 of it in a single sitting. And going to Walmart is like a fucking luxury, because that means driving 10 minutes further. That means more gas, more time. Sure, it might be better economically, but like the food isn't always of the same quality and stuff. While I liked Walmart, it was significantly further, so that was like a whole thing of it. It's like, we can go to Downing and Safeway, which is, you know, 8 blocks away, or we can drive for 5 miles, 2.5 miles each way. And so we didn't go to Walmart a lot. We had to go to like a little bit more expensive places, because you either had to ride the bus down the fucking Santa Fe on the light rail, and the light rail wasn't even there until like 10 years in or something like that. And since I was there, since I moved there, you know, and like, and you might take the 52 bus all the way down there to the Santa Fe Walmart, and that's a fucking long ride. You're looking at like maybe an hour and a half. You want to go to the Walmart on the bus? That's an hour and a half. It's like an hour and a half. It's fucking dumb. I used to hate it. I used to be like, I gotta go to the fucking Walmart. I hate going to the Walmart. It's like a 45-minute bus ride each way. Like, I used to really be like, you know, and so I don't really relate to the whole Walmart thing. I never did, but that's only because I'm inner city, and they almost never have Walmarts in inner city. They do, but they're always like in really big flagship positions. If you don't live by that, then you're out of luck. So there was one close to me, only about 2 miles away, but it was a 2-mile drive, which is sort of dumb to do when you're like, you know, when you're like in your own neighborhood in an inner city. To drive 4 miles, that's sort of crazy.
The conversation.
So we shopped a lot more at 7-Eleven. I love 7-Eleven. I shopped a lot more at 7-Eleven than I did Walmart, because you know what was close? 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven was always within 6 blocks of me, no matter where I was. So I got real used to like living off of 7-Eleven little dollar sausage muffin things, and Arizona teas, and like $1 bag of chips, and for like $3 you could get your fucking meal. You could get a nice sausage muffin, Not sausage muffin, sausage biscuit, right, for $1. I used to really love those. I would buy 2 of them. Get 2 sausage biscuits for $1. Arizona iced tea. And a bag of fucking, I don't know, what do they call that? Sour cream and onion, or not sour cream and onion, but what do they call that? Cheddar onion, or whatever, cheddar sour cream Lays or whatever, or what are they, like Ruffles? Yeah, cheddar and sour cream Ruffles for like $1 or whatever, or like some Funyuns or something. And like that's a meal. I would eat that for $4 a day, and that's how you live off of $4 a motherfucking day. And you would eat it. You spend the rest of your money on like beer or whatever. Spend like $5 on a couple of tall boys at like 6 p.m. And then somewhere around there, like 11:15 at night, you go down and spend $4 and I don't know 35 cents at the 7-Eleven and get your daily meal. That's how I lived for a long fucking time. I didn't need Walmart. I didn't need Safeway. Sure, the food was crappy. It's one of the reasons why I ended up fat when I was a drug addict at the end of my life. But I wasn't always like that. But I mean, yeah, like, you know, like going to Walmart and dumping $350 on groceries was like a higher level of money than we had in poor Denver. That was like a higher. I was jealous of the kids that would go to like dollar stores and like Walgreens and spend money on that stuff, because they'd be like, that must be nice. Like, there was periods when it wasn't like that, and we would definitely go and spend money on groceries, like good money and stuff, or go to the Costco a lot, you know, and that kind of thing up until I was like, you know, 16. But then when I became like a grown man at the age of like 16, I left the home and I started taking care of myself. I began to realize that all these other people, they always had like $350 in their budget to go to the grocery store. I'm from the lower class where you got to rob somebody if you want $350. That's unlikely. I'm dead serious. That's unlikely. You're living off of, you know, paycheck to paycheck, which is like, you know, that's like what, it's like maybe $750. Now remember, the rent was always like at least $750 since 2010, something like that. So like, you got to remember, that's a whole week's paycheck to the rent. I'm sorry, and remember, paychecks come every 2 weeks. So it's a whole 2 weeks paycheck on just the rent. The other 2 weeks paycheck, you know, you're just sinking. You're essentially like you're paying for your cigarettes and your food and your water and your bills and your cell phone bill, which was always like 60, 50, you know, 30, 40, 50, $60, something like that. Like, you just didn't have it. You just didn't have money to go to Walmart. You were on food stamps, and you were going to like King Soopers and dropping like maybe $95 every 2 weeks or something like that. You were living off ramen and like white bread and mayo and you know, like cheap cheddar American cheese or whatever. Maybe some honey baked ham, and like, you know, just enough protein to still survive. Hopefully some orange juice so you don't get scurvy and shit like that. That's living in the actual lower class. That's not struggle food. That's what living off $100 of groceries a month is, and that's what I've done for a long time. I'm still living off of, I think I live off of, I don't know, I spent about $195 to $205, somewhere around there, like every month or something like that. It's been like that since I was, I don't know, 13 years old or something like that. It's always been that same $195, something like that. That's what my food stamps have been for a long time. $197, something like that. Whether I'm living or whether I'm working or not, you still need that $197 to make sure that you fucking eat. It sucks. On disability, it didn't change. I went on disability. Everybody thinks that's like a freer ride, but all disability is $7,000 a year, which is nice. I need it. I'm not being an ingrate about it. I need that. I live off that. But it is only $7,000 a year and $200 for food stamps. That's what it is. That's what it actually is.
So the explanation on
you can't work or they bust you for fraud. You can't, you know, and you wouldn't work anyways. I mean, I can't work with anybody. I'll tell you right now, I really probably can't work with anybody ever again. It's like kind of fucking shitty. I don't trust anybody. When I go in a room, I put my back to the fucking corner and I look at the fucking door, because I was a drug dealer so long. I'm scared somebody I don't identify is gonna come in and fuck with me or whatever. It's so dumb. Try being like that. You can work that stuff out of your system, but if the people that you're working for didn't have lives like that, especially out where I live, where they're from the rural and they were like these people out here. I thought of this place as short bustling because they have so much goddamn money. They've got so much money. Even the poor hicks in the fucking sticks, they have money. They've got way more money than we did in the inner city. They've got so much more money. They'll be whining about how they're fucking poor, but they'll have like a broken down van and, you know, like some kind of RV trailer and like a fucking, you know, and a house that their parents live in or something like that. And they'll be talking about how they're poor. Now that's my life now. But I mean, I didn't live that till I was 39 or something like that. So yeah, and I'll be talking about how I'm poor. But I mean, to me, $7,000 a month and $7,000 a year and 200 a month for food stamps is dirt poor. That's like dirt farmer poor. And I've been like that since I was 16 years old, you know? So that's what, 27 years, something like that? So like my view of how other Americans live, people that can afford Walmart, and I know that sounds crazy to most middle class fucking Americans or most people in the fucking world, but honestly, I come from that kind of poor though. Like people that can afford to go to fucking Walmart instead of like drinking or cigarettes or like transportation or rent are like a higher, that's middle class to me. That you're like, you're middle class. I've not been middle class since I was 16. Must be fucking nice. Must be nice to go on down to Walmart and blow $200 like that. I can do that once a month. But what I'm more likely to do is go to the Safeway or the King Supers, or in my case, like my place that I go to, or the grocery outlets and stuff. And you ever go to the grocery outlets on the Sundays and stuff, or to the thrift stores on the Sundays because you have to? Dollar store was out of, like even dollar store was out of my reach most of my life. I get jealous of people who have money for dollar store. You know what I'm saying? It sounds poor because it is. It's fucking poor. It's inner city poor. You know, when the rent was raised to $1,000 and then $2,000 or whatever, like $1,400 to $2,000 and stuff, with that shit raised, all of us just hit the streets and started doing fucking fentanyl and shit. Because what the fuck else can you do? I did meth. What the fuck else can you do? I'm actually from the fucking lower class. Like I wasn't all of my life. I really wasn't. And my mother didn't raise me that way. But I mean, I was that way for past the age of 16 for a long time. I ran with a bunch of artist kids and drug kids and like, you know, raver kids and skater kids, skater punks and gutter punks. A lot of gutter punks around me. A lot of gutter punks and a lot of juggalos. A lot of, you know, lower class. I wouldn't say we were all lower class, but a bunch of us were. Some of the art kids that I knew that they were, some of them would tell me, like my friend he never fessed up about it, but I knew he would go home at night and he would cry when he knew, because they had 4 kids in his household, and I love my friend to death. He was like my homie since I was like 13 years old or something until I was like, I don't know, fucking 30 or something like that, or like really like a long time, like 17 years or something like that. He was in my inner circle in my band for a long time, in the top 5 short of my inner circle now. And like his family, they had 2 boys and they had 3 boys and a girl, and there was one who was already out of the house. He was like Percy. He was like a head boy at some college or something like that. And then there was like the younger Weasley kids, who was like his sister D and him I, and then his other brother G. And I didn't know G very well, but I knew his sister D and him I very well because they were the younger kids. They were the younger 2. And after the 2 older kids were done growing, and one was already out to like college, and the other one was like 16. We never met them really. The 2 younger kids were in my high school. I know that I cried himself to sleep at night some nights, knowing that a bunch of us had more money than him. And I had more money than him at that time because my mother was successful in working for Lucent Technologies, which was a big tech startup in Colorado and stuff. So she was making Lucent money, which was good. It was like $100,000 a year. That was a lot more than most people around her was making. And so she was doing well. They really like you know, my friend's parents respected her quite a bit, but that was a lot more money than my friends had. Like now I's parents made $100,000 a year because both of them were teachers and both of them made $50,000 a year. So they made what my mother made but both of them had to work 40-hour weeks each. And that's like truly tragic. It just has to do with like, you know, what your job is, what you're capable of, what you strive for with college, what your training is, all that stuff. But I like my friend I know that he went depressed to bed a couple of times. I know he cried about it with me a couple of times. He was like, I see that other people have more money than us, and I know. I was like, why don't you have a car? And you live so far away. Your parents didn't want to help you like reach a car. They're not really that expensive. They're like $3,000. And he's like, oh no, I'll never have $3,000. He's like, not unless I work for it. He's like, I'll never have $3,000 for a car. No. And I knew that struggle all of my life. I know now. The only reason I had cars when I was young is because my parents would always help me, or my friends would give one to me, or they would sell me one for cheap, or I would steal one, or that kind of thing. Like I did like, or whatever. Or I would buy them cheap at a couple of times I bought them cheap at the police auction for like between $300 and $700, and I would scrap them out in like 6 months, that kind of thing. They're just desperate to move, or I would borrow them from friends, or that kind of thing. But yeah, I knew his struggle later on. I didn't know his struggle when we had that talk when I was like 16 about how I was going to get a car and he wasn't. But I knew that struggle later on. By the time I was 19, I was like, Jesus Christ, like the man with a car in this land is king, because none of us have cars. None of us can afford it. My best friend, he bought a motorcycle just so he knew that he would just have a motorcycle for like 7 years and shit. He blew $5,000 on it right when he first got his inheritance. And he got a motorcycle because he knew that nothing would happen to it. He would be able to fucking ride no matter what. Like he couldn't necessarily ride in the winter necessarily all the time, but he could, like 9/10 of the year he could ride, And so yeah, like without that motorcycle, we'd have been fucked. I rode that motorcycle with him. Like people in the neighborhood thought we were gay because I was willing to ride behind him on the motorcycle. But no, motherfucker, we're going like 50 miles, and I need the ride. I need the fucking ride. I'm going all the way across motherfucking Colorado or whatever, and I need the fucking ride. It was like that. That was the only ride anybody that I knew had. There was this period where all the money was gone and the rent was so high and nobody had any goddamn money, that the only person that I knew who had a goddamn vehicle at all was like when my friend lost his Subaru because this fucking construction company smeared it right out in front of our house. It just completely totaled it with their wreck roller thing that they had, or their cement mixer or whatever it was. They wrecked one of my best friend Jack Gallagher's car, and like fucking that was cripplingly bad, because he was like the ride for everybody. It was and that happened to me too. I was the ride for the entire band, and when I lost my car, it was a disaster. It was terrible. And so like even having enough money for a $3,000 beater was something that we'd have to save up for like 2 years and shit like that. And so I think sometimes like, boy, like that money going to Walmart, that must be nice. Like Walmart to me implies that you have funny money to spend on stuff that you can impulse buy. But no, since I was like 16 years old, I know exactly what I can get with my $197, and I do it every single month, right down to the potato. I'm talking like right down to the motherfucking potato. Right down to the bottle of Canada Dry. I know exactly what the fuck I can get every single month with my $205 or whatever it is. I know exactly what I can get right down to the cent. I know right to every product it is. And if you've never been, then you've never been the lower class. I think a ton of the middle class, because they have no actual liquid free to go to like the roller skating rink or buy a PlayStation 5 or something like that they're poor. But no, you just don't have any worry. It's not that you're poor. It's that you don't have any worries because all of your money goes towards that. If you're from the lower class, you don't have any money at all, and you're not very far from the streets. And that's how it was like all my life. So like one of the things that was just a general like given was you could crash on your friends' couches because they had crashed on your couch so many times that it was just like you could be like, look, can I come crash at your place? I'm so sorry to do this to you, but like I've got no place to go tonight or whatever. And they'll be like, yes. Unless you're on drugs, they'll be like, yes, I'm sorry, no problem. I stayed at your house so many times that how can I say no or whatever. And I rode that for 15 years. I would let them stay at my house as much as possible. I would let them stay, and they would let me stay at theirs. And eventually I just stopped living like that. I was like, I have to go strive to something better. And I did that with just, I think it was like $43,000. I totally used my family and my friends and my connections and my stepfather and all these other people, and I got it all together. People think that I'm in this alone, but no, I've got all kinds of friends and all kinds of people to help me fight the battle all the time. I about to go see them this summer, which will be amazing. And like, you know, and I think that's going to be like a 10 to 15 person get together, because like everybody's allowed to bring people this time. My best friend couldn't show last time because he was sick, but he is this time, and when he shows, he's going to bring like 5 to 10 people. It's going to be nuts. That's why I like set up my aunt's house to do this, because it's like, if I don't know, like if we don't have those connections, I don't know what I would do. And like, so, and he knows it. He can call me up and essentially conscript me like a soldier and use me like a soldier if he wanted to. And I would step in front of the door of his ashram, and I would stand there with a firearm, and I would prevent anybody from entering. And he knows this. It's not some kind of militia or gang. It's just that we've just been there for each other since we were like 13 years old. There was family on his side, but not on mine, really. I had like my mother and a few extended family members, like my aunt. But like he has a lot of family, a lot of connections and stuff. He has it much easier and much better. But like, but trust me, it goes deep. Like that movie Sleeper, or not Sleeper. What's that one that Dennis Lehane wrote? Mythic River. Is it Mystic River or something like that? I think it's Mystic River. Is it with Kevin Bacon? Was it Mystic River? That's Dennis Lehane, right? Our crew is so much like Mystic River, it's scary. Like that, like the way we grew up, the way it ended up being, not all the crazy shitty stuff that happens in Dennis Lehane's story, but just the way that they execute both Sleepers and Mystic River, which are both Kevin Bacon films that I grew up with, that I've seen like 20 times or something like that. I understand Southeast from Boston, cause dude, like West Side Denver, East Side Denver, that's just like Southie from Boston. That's like being Southie from Boston. No different. It's no different from being like a gangbanger in LA. Being West Side or East Side Denver is a lot like being fucking Southie in Boston, or like, you know, inner city New York, or like Bronx, or really more like Brooklyn. Kind of like Brooklyn, or like Compton or South Central or something like that. Now, it's not always as bad. There was much more privileged shit in Denver than there was in other cities and stuff, because our city's clean and we have a lot of money. But was it as harsh? Yes. Yes, I've seen guns many times. I've seen people get stabbed. I've seen bums damn near beaten to death. Yes. You know, I wish it wasn't like that, but it was. It fucking sucks. You know, I've seen shit on Colfax that'll turn your fucking hair white. I've seen crazy amount of car chases. I've been in a crazy amount of car chases. Like, I don't know why my life was like that, but it just was. So I think like all the time. Now, if I buy like a better axe, its durability is 90, but will it actually do more damage or whatever? No, I think I'm supposed to just buy the vendor axe. 5, 6, and we'll chop some more wood, and we'll put the wood away. I just don't want to log out yet. I am trying to send more stuff from my main.
The class system leads us to another point, which is politeness.
And so all the time I think the middle class relate to the upper class, because sometime in their life they had like shishi stuff, like maybe their parents gave them a car or something. So I think the middle class can relate to the lower class, and they can think that they can become upper class. But that's very, very rare. Like 1% of us do it. That's why they're called the 1%. Very rarely do people actually leave the lower and middle class. It's fucking shitty. It is a caste system in America. It still sort of is. It's shitty, but it is true. And so, like, you know, and I have that view of it. I very much doubt I will ever leave the lower or middle class, and that's okay. When my parents pass, I will become landed gentry, and I will become what is considered to be upper middle class, which is like, you know, it's been a while since I've lived a lifestyle like that, and I'm like, nothing changes. It's not like I get more money or anything like that. Just there won't be any problems. It's like my dental care is taken care of. All my life, I had to pay for my own dental care. All my life, I had to pay for my own insurance. All of my life, I had to pay for all of my own transportation, all of my own, like, you know, all my stuff, like all of my stuff. Like that, I only received help from the government for 2 years of my life for unemployment. And I only received food stamps for about, like, well, no, I did receive food stamps like almost all of my adult life, which was a long time, 27 years. But I didn't receive a lot, like disability until I was like 39, and I worked all of my life, and I paid taxes to help receive the aid that I am receiving. And all the time I think about how I'm like lower class, but I'm hood rich, in the respect that like I'll never have to worry again because between the disability and my parents' land and the inheritance and all the things that I do to make sure that my family is taken care of, like I will be taken care of. To me, that is rich. Rich is not having to worry. So you could call me rich when my parents pass, but I mean, will I ever spend any money? The answer is no, and I won't have any either. I'm not going to have any like spare money. No, all that'll go to bills. Like it is quite a lot of money to keep this place running every single month. It's fucking stupid. So I don't know why either. That stuff never cost any money until I was like, an adult, and then suddenly when I was an adult, they just raised the price of everything 10 times what the previous 5 generations paid. I don't have a lot of hope for the new generations. Like, I know what they're facing. I know I've seen the worst ravages of it. There was times in my life when the power was off for fucking 5 months, 7 months. Power was off. Nobody could pay it. Nobody had money for a fucking bill. Nobody could pay the power bill. No, nobody wanted to pay it if they didn't live there. We had the power was off for 7 months and shit. It was insane. My dumb, drunk fucking roommate fucking stole it. Paid his rent with it. We paid him power money, all 3 of us, for a long time, and he just took that money, bought beer with it, like we weren't gonna kick his fucking. I mean, we didn't kick his ass. We didn't touch him over it. We're not like that. We're pacifists, you know what I'm saying? But it definitely made it so that he scrubbed out of our group. He scrubbed out of our group when he did that. It was a lot harder for him to hang around us. It was like he scrubbed out of our fucking group. He definitely did. He scrubbed out of our fucking group. Like he was with us since he was 14 years old or something like that. But then when he was like 24 or something, he decided to spend our goddamn power money on beer. And I, in particular, made it very much harder for him to hang with us. Like a lot. I mean, I ran that motherfucking crew. I made it. I mean, I didn't run it totally. It was like my best friend also ran it too. But like motherfucker, like I made it much, much harder. This bear is like glitched or something and it won't attack. Oh, not enough free pet points? Why? Oh, because his level? Oh, yeah, because I don't have enough pet points past 75. Okay, well then, lock. Can we reduce him? No, I can't reduce him. No. He's going to leave me now? Yes, he is. Because he leveled too high. I should have locked him at 74. I didn't know that was a thing. But he will. He'll leave me when his pet points are too. See, now, okay, I don't know. It's so dumb. I'm just going to go put him away then. Let's go put him away before he leaves me. I don't have enough free pet points to mount. God damn it. Fine, just give me all your stupid stuff and I'll put it all away. I'll sell this bear for... what did I pay? I'll sell him for 50 or whatever. I used them all day, but maybe I should start using horses. Alright, well, give me all your stuff. I'm gonna feed you just so you're, like, happy and don't leave me while I'm trying to sell you. Yeah. How about now? Are your pet points better now? Fuck. Alright. Well, let's sell him, I guess. Take off your stuff. Come over here. Oops. Yep. And on this pig is going to be, or on this bear is going to be a, bush pig. I'm getting tired. I need to eat. This bush pig has stuff on it. Or, sorry, bear. This bear named the bush pig has stuff on it. Purchase lowest first. Oh, market. Did I make sales? Pick up items. Yes, I did. Yeah, I made 25 gold off all of those saddles that I made. Nice. Well, let's sell the bear. Or no, I guess I have to put him in the stable. Okay, go away, push pig. I'm gonna sell you now. Let's see if I can sell him for 76 gold. I don't think he will. Let's look at what bears go for. Lowest first is, yeah, look, I can probably get 50 gold for this. No, I have to go to page 1, huh? 30 gold for an 85, so I guess 30 gold is what I can get for him. I think that's what I paid, though, which is kind of annoying. Fucking annoying. Well, sell pets. Sell this bush pig for 50 gold would be a profit. Yeah, and I don't care if it takes a week, whatever. I guess I'll pull out a horse and just use that, and I'll put this other stuff away. Or no, I want to buy a bear. I've been farming. I can just go sell this wood and buy a bear, I think. Yeah, I like auto run on middle mouse now. I think that's a better key. Can I set it to middle mouse on this? No, that's a camera key or whatever. Can I set auto run in the config to the middle mouse? Is that possible? No. What is that? That's like miscellaneous 4, or no, it's like 2. Yeah, I want to set my own commands to auto run. We're like, this should be like showing up, but it's not. It's weird. No. Auto run is R, which is what I'm used to. I'm just gonna leave it on that. Fuck it. But I want to get used to a better button. So what now? I think I go and send stuff to my So, you can send chess keys? No, you can't. And now you're going to glitch me out and force me to type this in again. So, okay, brass ingot, mithril beast coin, 5 cock meat, 7 cock meat, or whatever, silk thread, invisible, silver ingot, copper ingot, send? Yeah, and then what did that leave me at? It puts me at 48, which still isn't that good. It's all those fire crystals. I'm going to go receive. Okay, so now we're in here somewhere. I went way too far for some reason, but that's okay. I must stop. My blood sugar has crashed, and I must stop to eat now. I think my meal should be ready. I think it is ready, probably. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff that I want to sell in the market. I'm gonna eat this cavallo. I don't know where I got it from, but... Okay, so, I wish to sell to buy order, sell buy order, so I will sell brown bear carcass. What is it selling, huh? Items you have sold. Compact horn. I am here to sell to buy order wood. Yeah, and we want this highest first, and we're going to come down to gray wood and take my money for a bear. How's this going? Am I docked up or whatever? Yeah, I'm docked up. And then this one's storyline security. You want me to accept and take the Canucks? It's going to go to Tanu. Okay, I'm in Tanu. Okay, so oh no, I guess you can't. I don't know. Oh, go to the agency. To agents and missions, storyline agent. This guy is named Alldayerrydaybaby. Start convo. Accept. Okay, am I in the wrong station? I'm in Moon 1. But I am in Moon 1. Wait, but... Pickup location is Tanu. Track this. Well, yeah, but I don't have anything. I don't have this. I have to like... Oh, they want me to get in a ship, I guess? Okay. Maybe that's what it is. No, it's something weird. I'm gonna relog and see if it fixes it. Okay, I need to receive on the alt, and then I can mail fire crystals to myself and go farming. Greywood. Greywood. Whitewood. Dapplewood. There's enough money to buy a new bear, hopefully, or no, I don't know, maybe not, actually. I'll go pull like 20 gold, but that's fine. I want to get a new bear so I can ride around. Yep, I'll take this 45 gold and buy a bear, I guess. Yeah, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Mana regen, huh? Scat rat's mental healing. I am buying a animal. I like Mortal now. It's like the frame with the frames, with the improvement of the engine, where the frames are finally good now. I'm just like, game's good. The frames were really the real problem with it when they fixed. I think it's like, you know, I don't mind that it's got a lot of problems or whatever. Oh, I came to the wrong side somehow. How do I do this all the time? Maybe I should price dire wolves. I don't know. I think they have bags now. I don't know. No, I prefer black bear. It's really tanky. You can ride it. Carries a lot of stuff. Run, 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 run. Okay, I will look into bear. Yes, apply filter. Tour dogs, we're looking for a price lowest first. Black bear 85 for 40 gold. That's too high. Tour dogs for 50 gold. You're on page 1. I want to be on page 2. You don't have a lower bear. There, that's a good bear. Level 71 bear. I'll take him. I'm gonna get up on him. Oh no, oh yeah. P, we're gonna give you, first we're gonna give you food. Nice, and then we're going to give you armor and bags and put the pygmy on the bag and put the gold and the cavallo and the food and the roses away, but I'm gonna ride. And there's my new bear. Okay, so there we go. 66 silver, 15 gold, and myrrh, and all that other stuff. So let's go. Oh, I have 2,500 coal. Well, I think that's good. Time to pause. I think I will actually log this game for now. And I will watch this video while I eat dinner. I will be right back. I just need to get it out of the crock pot. So, my bowl. There's my bowl. There it is. So, how's this going? Good. Yes, I believe Just have to melt the cheese and let it cool down, and we're done. I'm gonna eat here in 5 minutes, but I just didn't want to die, so I logged out. I'm gonna go back in and go back to work here, but time to receive. Stuff to sell. A lot of stuff to sell. Let's go back and send more. How much room does she have? 4. So let's go sell, I guess. I want to glance at the Steam game and player statistics. Oh, my camera got moved. Sorry. There we go. How we doing here? We got Schedule 1 got up the charts really fast, and so did Repo. These weird, like, group party co-op games. Counter-Strike 2, First Berserker Kazan did pretty well. It smells good. That meal is gonna last like 3 days. It's this is a way better way to stretch the money. And it's nice. It's like meat and potatoes kind of food too. It's like nice and hearty. It's not sandwiches. Like stew, basically stew. Copper ingots for 3 grand. I want to keep these and I want to save them. Brass ingot isn't worth anything, huh? Wow, it should be too. I will stack all the rest of that stuff. Okay, I got a whole bunch of other stuff that I gotta stack, but I did want to make sales right away. Gotta run her down the hall. Okay, you came in. Am I on my bear? No, I'm not on my bear, but I should be. He's bloody for some reason. That's not good. Why did we die? Wait, can I loot him or whatever? Oh no, Kai kicks or whatever. Kai kicks through. Poor bear. Okay, so I want to go running down the hallway. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Yes, 72. I want to lock you so you don't get bigger. Okay, back to work, chopping trees so I can buy a house. After I get done eating, I'm gonna go put the house down. Or, well, no, maybe I want to go scout for that, actually. Let's go scout for that right now. I don't care if I lose this bear. Or whatever. Let's go scout where I want to put the house down, like right down to like where on the land I want to put it. Which won't take long. I want a really quick ride into town that's not obtrusive. So I want like straight lines. See how I've got a straight line back through here, past this house. I could go up here. I'm looking for I want water for fishing and I want mobs for killing. We know that good bandits and scoundrels spawn at that place, and I'm out of stamina now, but yeah, and I'll go up the hill. Yeah, like it's a shame because this would be perfect, like this guy where this guy is, because you can see the whole, like you can see bird. It's like really scenic right here, actually. Oh, and there's another black bear. I wonder, can I kill him? No, I can't kill him. I don't have a weapon. Or I don't know. Maybe I can kill him. Yeah, if the other bear tanks him. Yeah. I better run. This isn't going to work. My bear's going to die. I can't get him off him, so I don't have a real weapon. But we see this is a very good spawn because I can get black bears right there. So I do want to live here because I can always get a mount at that black bear. I can always kill. I need to run from the black bear for a long time, and that's not too good. Don't run out of stamina, or I'll have to fight him. I don't know. He might drop aggro fairly quick. I don't know. There's mobs here. I don't know what they are, like scoundrels or something. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. This is where I want to live. And I was thinking if it'll let me, I'll slap down here. If I can't do here, I'll do... I think this is flat enough right here. I'll take this spot right here if they'll let me take it. Yep. I want to be right by the water unless it prevents me or something. I'm going to try and take this spot right here. This is my spot. It would be nice if it was tucked in a little bit further and a little bit out of sight more. But no, I'm okay with living out loud like right here. And I want the entrance to face the... I want the... Well, I don't know. Yeah, like the... No, I want the entrance to face like right here. Yeah, I think so. Yep, and I don't want to have a very far walk. I want to slap the house down like right here. So I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna take my house. I'm gonna buy a house, and I'm gonna bring it up here. I'm gonna slap it down. I'll begin moving materials to it. God damn it. So annoying. I'm trying to help this guy. I hate the chat system. At least my bear didn't die. I was like waiting to see if the other black bear showed. Wait, what? Why did he run? That seems weird. If I tell him to stay, will he heal? 164, 429. No, I have to bandage him to full, which takes fucking forever. Now I'm kind of like a little bit more inclined to ecumenical, but I mean, I don't know. I think it takes way too many points away from a melee. Maybe I can get pet bandage over like in the merit point chart. I don't know. I need to eat my dinner while it's still warm. I want to go back to town first though. Yeah, this will be where I slap down the house. It'll be like right there. Houses are a little bit scary because I'm about to put, I don't know, 4/5 of my income into something, but I mean, they can't really stop me from putting it down. I don't think PvP is really possible. I don't think they can stop me before I put it down, and that's the main thing. That's one of the reasons why I don't go up under the mortal channel and try to get new viewers, is I just don't think that, you know, I don't want to broadcast what I'm doing and just get ganked doing every time I leave town or whatever. I just don't really want to do that. We can see that there's maybe faster ways to reach here too from different like vantages. I'm gonna bandage him real quick so I don't like lose him. I'm gonna feed him too, just to make sure he's not hungry or anything like that. Yep. So, yeah, so we can go down this hill real fast. It's like fairly direct route right to the fucking city. I could see if there's water closer, like, to the city. Like, these guys seem to be really close to the city. It looks like you can really park houses really close to each other, too, which I didn't know. And, yeah, there's water right there. I mean, I guess I could just build closer. I could just build closer and ride up to the bandits, I suppose. Will they let me build this close? Doesn't seem to want to let me build that close, maybe. Yeah, it feels like the city might have a limit. I might have to mess with a BPE, but I mean, it's only like, you know, little grind. Okay, so so yeah, I get to pause here. I'm going to like log out. I don't know why I came back to my BlackBerry being hurt. It's like dumb. Whatever. Okay, we are logged out. I am here trying to receive, I guess. Or no, I'm trying to make sure I don't have any more stacks of stuff first. Bronze hammer +1. I didn't know she had that lying around. I'm going to sell it. And yeah, so let's dump a bunch of this random stuff and see if we can get stacks of anything. I want to dump these pickaxes. Yep, she keeps the stacks. She's the stack keeper. So, what else does she have? She doesn't have anything really stacked up there. Nothing too stacky. Nothing too stacky. Okay. So, yeah, I don't really see too much there, but that's okay. And we're stacking goblin stuff too, and that'll all stack eventually too. I guess now I go back to the main, and I'm gonna eat my dinner and watch a video. I don't have to worry about, well, I do have to worry about, like, clicking on Mortal and, like, letting them know that I'm here. I just don't want to log in yet. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just click it every once in a while, make sure it doesn't, like, do it. And then, yeah, and I'm getting on the main. And,
and expressiveness.
okay, this will be fun. We'll watch the rest of this. I'm going to eat my dinner now. Grab it. Oh, I need to get a drink first, though. Oh, I'm going to have to let my left knee rest tomorrow. Damn it. So it's pretty good. Okay. Potatoes, yams, and beef, and onions with cheese and Tabasco. Green Tabasco.
Get back over there.
I have a right to speak. I have a right to speak.
This is my right as much as it is yours. This is my land as much as it is yours.
To Americans, I am important. I am the center of the universe. After the Great Awakening, there was a strong focus on individualism. Emotionality and expression is a good thing. Being outgoing and extroverted is a very American thing. British people are very introverted. Americans, after things like the Bill of Rights, have a strong focus on their personal rights and freedoms and liberty. In America, all men are created equal, and so they don't have this idea that you're better than me or I'm better than you by birthright. We're all humans, we all exist, and we all deserve respect. And so this leads to politics and the attitude toward authority.
This is an illegal detention at this point. You better get your shit straight. Oh, I will file a complaint. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Right as soon as we leave.
Am I not human to you, huh?
Americans are inherently very skeptical of authority. They believe more so in small government and self-autonomy due to the British ruling America and, being a bit naughty, a bit rough around the edges. As well, Americans are very rebellious. The formation of America was around escaping the Church of England. In Britain, on the other hand, it is different. We do have a trust in our government. It is waning currently, but typically we trust in social order and we don't really make too much of a big deal about infringement of our rights. And that's probably because of years of
lack of violence,
power by monarchs. And again, the stoicism and the idea of stiff upper lip, not complaining too much, not making a big deal. It kind of has led to this polite submissive behavior, which sometimes is a bit embarrassing.
Careful, sir, it's hot. Oh,
it's called
sorry,
civilization.
Yeah, sorry. Would you like some salt and pepper? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Like, you can kind of picture the movie scene of a British person, an American person dealing with authority. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, yes, sorry, I don't mean to take your time.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Listen here, tough guy. You don't talk to me like that.
My fuck, she's hot. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, that's fine. We'll leave, for sure.
But darling, you did own the restaurant.
Yes, but I don't want to be,
She's Russian, British.
Rude. And so with all this, you can extrapolate these attitudes and understand different attitudes towards certain issues. For instance, guns. Americans see guns as like a right to protect themselves from the government and other people. America's fast food and subsequent obesity problem has stemmed from the ideas of efficiency in business, not wanting to waste time on food, taking too long to cook. And then you have things like healthcare and welfare. Like in Britain, we have a pretty strong healthcare system. Let's not get into that. Whereas Americans are far more reserved on bringing anything into public domain, especially healthcare. Britain has an obsession with tradition and upholding tradition, whereas America have a strong focus on new and innovation, new products, technology.
By making the screen taller but not wider, you can see more of your content without the need to scroll. We're making scrolling a thing of the past.
And so look, I've picked apart British people and American people. I've made jokes, I've pointed out some bad things, but I want to say, and I think this is true, Americans and British people have a very deep mutual respect for each other. I think very much these days, ever since the war, we've had what has been dubbed a special relationship. I don't know if that's a gay thing or something, but whatever. As a Brit, I can say honestly, I really do love Americans. I love being around Americans. I really admire their confidence. They're so easy to talk to, they're very warm, open demeanors. British people can be very reserved at times.
Excuse me, young man, is anyone sitting here?
No.
Would you mind if we sat here?
No, it's fine.
I'm Ronald. This is Pammy. Actually, you forgot to tell us your name.
Peter.
Peter!
It can be pretty depressing talking with British people about the future and your ambitions. Whereas Americans are all patting you on the back saying, yeah, you can do it, bro. And I think Americans do appreciate British people as well. They probably appreciate our realism. We don't really bullshit ourselves. We're very honest. We know our strengths, but we also know our flaws. Often Americans see us as well-spoken and intelligent. And you can actually see our comedy has massively influenced modern American comedy. There's a lot more awkward, dry humor in American television now than there ever was in the past. And obviously, Americans fucking love our traditions, arguably more than us. And it leads me to a final thought, and that is about cultural homogenization. With the internet, culture across the world has sort of melted together. We're all seeing the same media constantly. I will listen to endless American podcasters telling me to go after my dreams and fix my life or something. The idea that the internet is bringing lots of different value systems together and you can kind of choose which one suits you, as opposed just the one that dominates your country. But I do wonder, are we going to see less of these interesting differences, and are we just going to become a sort of best of greatest album kind of thing? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more on this topic, check out the Afters podcast where we talk more about this. Like and subscribe to the channel. Peace. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. At any given moment, any day of the week, someone...
Thank you, Jimmy the Giant. I'd like to sub to your channel.
In Britain, I can guarantee you there's a conversation going on in a pub about Margaret Thatcher.
People stop us in the street almost and tell us that Margaret Thatcher isn't just inflexible, she's not just single-minded. On occasion, she's plain pig-headed.
To some, she was a liberator, freeing the British economy. To others, she's the reason that the trains are always late, the NHS sucks, towns are quickly dying, house prices are soaring, and I'm pretty sure she's the reason it rains all the time. Today we're going to explore why everybody hates Thatcher.
Moving on now, tonight the world is mourning the loss of the woman known as the Iron Lady.
We don't think she made Britain great. She destroyed everything that we made and handed us over to the bankers and the speculators.
Celebrating the demise of the woman they believe destroyed their community, carrying a coffin through the streets.
What?
When we look through history and we think about radical ideologies, we often think of communism or fascism and the crazy things, the revolutions that it took to get there. But you know, we often forget that in Britain and much of the West, during the 70s, we underwent our own insane radical revolution. And that revolution was neoliberalism.
Neoliberalism has provided the ideological framework that justifies the sweeping away of the power of people and its replacement with the power of money and the power of corporations.
A successful ideology is one that tells you there's no other way.
Let us stand together and do our duty, and we shall not fail.
Thatcher once coined the phrase Tina, there is no alternative. And it's kind of weird if you think about it, this dominant ideology is what we live under right now. However, if you mentioned it to most people, they wouldn't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. What's that you're waffling on about, mate? Neoliberalism?
Yes, that's exactly right.
So, where did this ideology come from?
And really, you know, politicians, I think, should sometimes just be a little bit more modest about their abilities than they are. We can't run everything, and we shouldn't try.
The idea...
Wow. That was fairly brave, Margaret. I think we have to.
Of neoliberalism are...
I don't think we can let it go.
Pretty simple. Individual freedom, limited government. The belief that the government should really just stay out of your business. Yes, unless it is protecting you and your rights. Or, most importantly, the rights of businesses.
You know, when the state does everything for you, it'll soon take everything from you.
And it would be so ideal if Thatcher had some kind of, I don't know, like case study to know if these ideas actually worked out in the real world. Oh wait, there was. In the 18th century, you had the OG libs. For roughly 200 years, this was the system that most of the West lived under. It was underpinned by an economic policy called laissez-faire economics. Basically, the idea was that the government should completely keep its hands off of the market and let the free market decide how to allocate resources.
Traditional economists at the time believed the economy, if left alone, would eventually heal itself.
And like this was sold under the pretense that it would make people more free. It'd bring more prosperity for all and more equality for all. But in reality, it made the rich very rich, but it left the poor to be fighting over the scraps. By 1900 to 1910, the top 10% of property owners owned an incredible 94% of the wealth, with the top 1% alone owning 70%. For some reason, this glorious idea wasn't quite working.
I think the distinguishing feature of a slum is that the housing is so bad and the poverty so constant that the people have given up any attempt to make themselves or their homes
there you go.
Well.
So during this span...
Yeah, that's, there you go, that's the lower class, yeah.
classic liberalism, the laissez-faire economic era, financial collapses and banking crises came out like fucking Fast and Furious movies. Don't just take my word for it. Look at this graph. I've got the graphs here to prove it. And you see all these little dots, right? Those dots represent the numerous banking crises that happened in this time. Every single one of them, you know, wiping out people's savings, putting people on the street, plunging people into poverty, you know, all that fun stuff. And you as a, you know, a reasonable person, you would probably assume that the politicians of this era must have been worried about all this chaos, this insecurity, and they must have done something about it. Right? No, nothing was done until the world went to war twice. A Holocaust had to happen before we said, I think the experiment's done. There was one final banking collapse in 1929. This one was called
the Great Depression. Starting with the October 1929 stock market crash, the Great Depression crippled the world economy.
Not to be confused.
Let's look into the Great Depression. Seems about 29's coming up here. Yeah, about 4 years. I wonder if we're due for a repeat. I don't like Nile.
With the original Great Depression in 1873 to 1896, they started to run out of names, so they renamed that one the Long Depression, and this one is now the Great Depression. In amongst this fucking rubble, a new economic theory was brewing from a man called John Maynard Keynes, where he basically said, lads, I think it's pretty obvious that economies don't just sort of bounce back on their own, like the free market doesn't just correct. Without a government to intervene, probably we're going to be fucked. And so whilst this new theory was brewing, and whilst World War II was happening, people were starting to notice that actually the government was pretty effective at mobilizing resources and directing economic activity. Not only did we blow up the Nazis, but we also discovered a load of technology to go with it. Computers, jet engines, penicillin, nuclear. We even got bloody duct tape. And so whilst this was happening, we started to realize that, you know, when society works together toward a greater good, very surprisingly, it has positive outcomes.
From number 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister makes the momentous announcement for which the world had been waiting.
The German war is at an end.
This created what would become known as the post-war consensus. Oh, look, here he goes again. Jimmy talking about the post-war consensus. Now, historically, this was one of the longest periods of time of sustained economic growth in the West. And like basically the ideas behind this was that the government would play a role to manage economic cycles and ensure full employment of the population. I'll show you the graph again. Look, the nice graph. Look, you see how all those dots just sort of disappear? That's pretty interesting, right? The whole world stops collapsing every few years. business. Ironically, this period of time is often dubbed the golden age of capitalism. You know, this period of time in which we were the least free market capitalist we'd ever been. It was characterized as a period of high growth, low unemployment, and rising living standards for all. The UK experienced nearly 3 decades of uninterrupted economic prosperity. We built the NHS, we expanded education for all, poverty drastically dropped, and productivity soared. And I'm not trying to over-glamour.
Yeah, the Britain did in 20s what we should have done in the 20s, but we wouldn't do it. We were like, nah, everybody's got to pay, everybody's got to suffer or whatever. But no, Britain did Obamacare in the 20s. Now they've let it go to shit, like we did. But I mean, like, oh, you know, Britain has had Obamacare since the 20s, 1920s, and no, I mean, I guess we can't call it the 20s anymore because we're in the 20s now. It's weird. We can't call it the 20s.
Is it? There were a few little financial hiccups every now and then. But like, look at how it was before and then during this period of time. You know, you'll notice they didn't release Great Depression Part 3.
A wonderful thing for our businessmen and our manufacturers and our unemployed to taste hope again. But they must not allow anyone to put them back in the gold cage where they have been pining their hearts out all these years.
And prosperity won't come by inventing more and more lavish public expenditure programs. You don't grow richer by ordering another checkbook from the bank. And no nation ever grew more prosperous by taxing its citizens beyond their capacity to pay.
So before Big Mama Thatch came in to swing her neoliberal wrecking ball to fuck it all up, sorry, I'm meant to be impartial, before she came to liberate us from the tyranny of communism.
The honourable gentleman knows that I have the same contempt for his socialist policies as the people of East Europe who have experienced it.
Now it's important that we talk about young Thatch, aka Margaret Roberts. Young Margaret was a cucked lib, right? She supported the post-war consensus. She admired the creators of the welfare state. She even thought that rationing was fair. But you see, because the post-war consensus benefited the poors, this pissed off a very important group of people called the rich. Ever so slowly, these shadowy networks of ultra-wealthy individuals started to fund think tanks to lobby the American government. These classical liberal economists came together and said, look boys, the whole laissez-faire economics, it's good and all, but I think it needs a rebrand. Now these lot, right, they didn't just want the usual, you know, lower taxes and lower regulations. They wanted to completely rewrite the rules of society. Before we go any further with this video, I want to give a massive shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring. Squarespace is the best tool, the most straightforward, easy and fun to use for making your own website. Whatever it is you do, it's very important to have a great looking website, and Squarespace has made it a whole world easier with their new design intelligence. Combining their extensive knowledge on creating website templates, plus the newest cutting edge AI technology, you can now, by adding in a few prompts, create a perfectly unique and customized design bespoke to you and your brand. As well, Squarespace's payment systems are now more flexible than ever if you are selling goods online to people from all around the world. With things like Afterpay, ClearPay, you can do buy now, pay later. They also take stuff like Klarna, ACH Direct Debit, and Apple Pay, meaning that you don't lose out on customers because, I don't know, the website doesn't let you pay. As well, their visual design tools with their animations and effects, they will just make your website look more modern and representative of, hopefully, how good your brand is. So be sure to head over to squarespace.com/Jimmy the Giant, and to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain, use the code Jimmy the Giant. Anyway, back to the video.
I believe I represent an attitude, an approach, and I believe that that approach is borne out by the development of my own life, going to an ordinary state school, having no privileges at all.
Originally, when Thatch was at Oxford, she read the book by Friedrich Hayek, A Road to Serfdom. At first, she didn't really get it. But jump forward to the 70s, and now Thatcher was just shooting out Hayek quotes as everywhere she went.
Our present political structure inevitably drives us into socialism, even if people do not want it in the majority. So I rather fear that we shall have a return to some sort of dictatorial democracy, I would say.
And you know, Hayek's skepticism towards democracy and a love for a liberal dictatorship, that didn't seem to put Thatcher off. If anything, it gave her more fuel. But then one sneaky bro would come along by the name of Enoch Powell.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Enoch Powell was very much against Keynesianism. He wanted a nationalistic Britain that took care of its own.
Powell became the target for demonstrators after his Rivers of Blood speech in Birmingham.
Enoch Powell was not a normal geezer. Like, he was very controversial. He had this speech called Rivers of Blood.
In 15 or 20 years' time, the black man will have the whip hand over the white man.
This speech was pretty much universally panned. Like, polite society completely rejected Enoch Powell. I'm pretty sure if he existed today, he'd be on a podcast tour by now. But Thatcher was very much for free speech, and she defended him.
Enoch was the best parliamentarian I ever knew. Everything in Enoch's speeches had to be worked out.
This was like Thatcher's entry into the neoliberal pipeline, but it wouldn't be until about the 70s, where another fella by the name of Keith Joseph came along and slowly started to radicalise Thatcher. Thatcher then just completely switched up on us. Now she saw the welfare state not as a safety net to help vulnerable people, but as a bureaucratic mess holding Britain back. And so now, as Thatcher had just been through her neoliberal awakening, one day she waltzes into a Conservative meeting, slammed Friedrich Hayek's book A Constitution of Liberty onto the table, and told everyone, this is what we believe now, which is totally normal behaviour for a leader of a democratic party.
A feeling among all groups of people that we can look for a new approach, a new hope in the new leader of the Conservative Party, Margaret Thatcher.
It was 1975 where Thatcher became the leader of the Conservatives. Another think tank had popped up onto the block, and that was called the Adam Smith Institute, founded by Madsen Peary and Eamon Butler. And these lot's ambition was to completely destroy the post-war consensus and to privatise everything. Railways, council houses. They even wanted to bring in a poll tax. And it's come out many years later that Thatcher's ultra-neoliberal manifesto called No Turning Back.
To those waiting with bated breath for that favourite media catchphrase, the U-turn, I have only one thing to say. U-turn if you want to. The ladies not for turning.
Whilst publicly she credited the MPs for writing this, it was actually secretly ghostwritten by Madsen Peary of the Adam Smith Institute. And like, look, as bad as these boys were, I can't lie, the Adam Smith Institute were genius. And that's because they had mastered the dark arts of lobbying without calling it lobbying. No, we don't pay off politicians, no. We're a think tank.
Who's funding your research on planning reform?
I have no idea.
As the corporate lobbyist Jeff Judson put it, think tanks are virtually immune to retribution. And it's because think tanks operate differently, right? They don't have to publicise who is funding them. They don't have to make that known.
What do you think we need to know?
I don't know, really. What would you like to know?
Well,
Would you like a list of every single donor from the beginning in 1955?
And so instead of like really wealthy people coming over and bribing politicians or directly donating to their campaign, which there are rules and regulations for, think tanks instead can just sort of present these ideas as, you know, independent research, and there's kind of no harm, no foul.
The least transparently funded think tanks raised over £14 million in the past 2 years from mystery donors. These think tanks appear across the media, like the BBC, have secured hundreds of meetings with ministers and advised the likes of the former Prime Minister.
These two, Madsen and Eamon, they would like hold court every Saturday with the Conservatives. They'd go out for a nice meal, over a glass of wine, and by Monday morning, their proposals were now all over the front pages of every newspaper. And their strategy was simple: to make the British public terrified of British collectivism, socialism, communism, Marxism, you know, whatever they were calling it now. All whilst pushing this market-first, people-second ideology to become the new normal.
The government's just announced it's going to call a general election. How do you feel about this?
I should read about months ago.
With decades of fine-tuning their rhetorical arguments, the neoliberal revolution just needed one good crisis to go mainstream.
What the country feared has at last happened. Over 1 million people out of work. The worst figure since 1947. The government confesses that it's baffled.
Now if we look at this chart, right, we love charts, this is a nice one. This is the unemployment rate, and this is inflation. And so the economic theory of the time, Keynesianism, it worked under the belief that if inflation goes up, unemployment should go down. Well, if you squint your eyes real tighter, and you look here at 1973 to 1974, why are both lines going up? What the fuck? What's going on? Close your eyes! This period in the 70s, which was called stagflation, was directly blamed on Keynesian economic mismanagement.
And any other attribution to other groups of inflation is wrong. What produces it is too much government spending and too much government creation of money and nothing else.
But there's a small, tiny detail that these lot tend to overlook a bit. That, just coincidentally at the exact same period of time in October 1973, there was the oil crisis.
11 Arab countries cut off all oil shipments to the United States.
We are heading toward the most acute shortages of energy since World War II.
The price of oil just went to the moon and quadrupled from $2.90 to $11.65 per barrel. I don't know if you know this, but oil, it's pretty important to pretty much everything. Economists like Alan Blinder and James Tobin, they have shown that the high inflation in this period of time was as a result of these supply shocks and not due to an inherent flaw in Keynesian economics. But Thatcher, she chose to entirely put the blame on Keynesianism and state ownership.
The state has no source of money other than the money people earn themselves. If the state wishes to spend more, it can do so only by borrowing your savings or by taxing you more. And it's no good thinking that someone else will pay. That someone else is you.
There was no nuance to her arguments, there was no in-between, and very little facts, to be honest. It was just very good sounding rhetoric. It was all just the socialists, it was the communists, the enemy from within. Which, if you're beginning to notice a pattern with Trump and Farage, then well done, class. It's the same old playbook. And so, in 1979, Margaret Thatcher would emerge as the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
It's been a wonderful campaign for you.
May I just thank you very much.
How do you feel at this moment?
I regret to say that we're in the worst economic mess since the Great Depression. Excessive taxation of individuals, punitive tax policies, and excessive and unnecessary regulations, plus government borrowing, has robbed us of incentive and made overtime unprofitable.
Neoliberalism wasn't just contained to Britain, it was a global revolution. In 1981 in America, Ronald Reagan became president. And another one of these dope think tanks called the Heritage Foundation, which was funded by the president of Coors Brewing, like the beer company. They basically teamed up with Reagan and wrote
Golds
the
in
mandate
Colorado.
for leadership. In this
fascism in Colorado goes back real deep, like Coors and all that. Oh yeah, big Colorado dynasty. I love it. There's the tavern, but I'm looking for where you buy houses at, and I don't see it. Okay, this is the woodworker. Oh, there's a woodworker librarian? Ah, ooh, guild chest. Ooh, simple chest. Simple chair. Cool. Oh, what's that sound? Oh. I'm on the wrong page. Damn it, not to change. I lost my TP. There's the decoration vendor, but where's the damn housing vendor? Here's the priest. Guess I better ride around faster. I've been all over this town so many times that I don't remember where this vendor is at all. It's weird because it kind of looks like you can see inside that house, but there's no windows. I wonder if that's Henrik's house. This is the herbologist and oh, there's a magic vendor right there. I didn't know that. What does she sell? Wow. For like spiritist traders, I think. Where's the housing vendor? That's so dumb. Be upstairs, would it? Oh, there's a bounty hunter up here. Nice. I hate driving the horse in this game so much. Where's the housing vendor in this place? Grocery vendor. There's a grocery vendor in here? How did I not know this? There. Is that it? I think that is it. Yes, that's it. Okay, so we gotta learn where the house vendor is. Took me so long to fucking find it in this terribly small town. It's so dumb, weird design. So, okay, we learned that like, in the center of the town... stop. Okay, behind this bank is the housing vendor. This bank, right? Yes, and there's the housing vendor. Let's go peruse the housing vendor. It's 2:30 in the morning. I do not really want to stay up this late, but I will stay up like another 10 minutes. Military architect, barracks, tier 1 plans, guard towers, and alert towers. House, a medium tier 3 deed is 300 gold. Artisan, architect, alchemist, smithy, a tier 2 smithy, butchery, stone refinery, foundry, tier 3. So I want to 2-hour this sheep. I just keep having it kill cockatrice, I guess. Okay, so I want to buy a tier 3 house. Alchemist, apothecary. Damn, some of these get so expensive. This is the, like, oh yeah, that's the artisan architect. Okay, that's like for the guild. Oh, the surrounding territory for your guild. Okay, claiming stone. Bank tier 3 plans. Set of plans for expanding a tier 2 bank. Those all require like some specialty guild thing. House inner wall, 3 meters, 8 meters. Oh, there's an inner wall. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna buy house medium tier 1 deed. I just gotta go get the money. not? Okay, well this spot didn't work, so we'll try other spots along the river, maybe. I don't know if it's protected or what. Oh, you're dropping like condensation on my mouse stuff. Could live higher if it was less claimed and it wouldn't bother anybody, like up here. This is acceptable too. So we'll try around here, I guess, and see if I can get something up here. Maybe these people have already laid claims. I don't know. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to do this. Why doesn't this work? Seems like it's really, really bad placement. I don't know why you're not allowing me to do this. It's annoying. I haven't seen a blue spot yet. This is a totally empty spot. Why will you not let me build here? Why? Why not allowed? Why? You're like not telling me and I don't know why. Well. No, that's not what I wanted. I want to get on you. I don't understand why these other houses were allowed to do this, but I wasn't. I really don't get that. Ugh, don't fall. Damn it. I hate the way the mounts are. Anywhere. Fucking anywhere. Like, what's the freaking problem here? No. Like, these guys were allowed to build here. What the hell? These guys were allowed to build here. Why aren't I allowed to build here? It's because they all guild claimed or whatever. Now I've got to roam around. I'm just gonna put this away until I figure out where to go, because that did not work. That was not that spot's not gonna work. Maybe too close to the monument, or maybe the guilds already own it too much, or whatever. Okay, well, the asset itself is safe. Now I want to look at other places on the other side of town, near water. Maybe I can get something over there a little bit, really close to town, I don't know. So, another option would be, like, water, like, near here. This would work, too. Although it's not my favorite.
Mandate, they had 2,000 proposals on slashing the American welfare state. Reagan goes around his cabinet handing out copies and tells them to get to work, and within 1 year, 60% of those proposals went live.
Success in politics is about issues, ideas, and the vision we have for our country and the world. In fact, the very sum and substance of the work of the Heritage Foundation.
And the thing is, it wasn't just the Republicans. Bill Clinton and the Democratic Leadership Council were on board too. They literally had Coke executives on the board, with corporate sponsors like Chevron and Microsoft funding the revolution. And one of their biggest gifts to Wall Street was the repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act in 1999.
It worked pretty well for the industrial economy, but the world is very different.
This was an important act. It came from the New Deal era, and it was a law to keep the banks in check from, you know, collapsing the economy, which they had a habit of doing every few years. But Bill Clinton and his backing of corporate lobbyists tore it down, and the floodgates were now open for big banks to take massive risks.
Now to my favorite series, Money, Power, Politics. There are few individuals with more influence in business and politics than these two brothers on your screen.
Billionaire businessmen and GOP mega donors, the Koch brothers. But exactly how much they donate is impossible to track. They fund groups not required to disclose donors.
In the 80s and 90s, the Koch brothers had set up the McCanter Center, dedicated to the righteous vision of economic freedom. The Koch brothers McCanter Center was feeding neoliberal ideas directly to George W. Bush, who had also created a hit list of public services that they wanted cut.
You know, to start,
Took a while to thaw, it's going to take a while to unthaw.
No longer were the ultra-wealthy just whispering in the ears of politicians. Now they were putting words in their mouths.
And the countries where there are most good jobs are the countries which have followed for years my recipe now. It's just that I can't pick up in a couple of years what it's taken Germany 15 or 20 to pick up. But it will work.
So back to the UK. When Thatcher took over, she had one mission: crush inflation at all costs. And so she hiked interest rates, slashed the money supply, and just let the economy take the hit.
There is no such thing as public money. There is only taxpayers' money.
And the first few years of Thatcher's revolution, they weren't great. They were marred by inflation, war, recession. After Margaret Thatcher infamously shut the mines, unemployment surged past 3 million. But then, luck would go her way.
Liquid gold. Call it what you like. Britain now has oil, billions and billions of barrels of it.
With the discovery of North Sea oil. North Sea oil, which was owned by British Gas, ironically a public company owned by the state, meant that the UK was producing more oil than ever. And so by 1986, the oil prices had halved. In effect, this drop of energy costs boosted Thatcher's narrative of neoliberalism's success, allowing her to claim victory over inflation. Even the opposition admitted she was a success.
There is no doubt that the Prime Minister has in many ways achieved substantial success.
All whilst communities across the UK crumbled.
Over her 11 years, the gap between the richest 10% and the poorest 10% in this country has widened substantially.
And so you might wonder, how did Thatcher celebrate, the success of this state-owned business saving the country? Well, of course, she sold it off to private ownership. Why? You tell me.
From France to the Philippines, from Jamaica to Japan, from Malaysia to Mexico, from Sri Lanka to Singapore, privatization is on the move.
And so, Britain moved from a once industrial economy toward an economy increasingly reliant on finance and services. While the South, and particularly London, thrived in this new landscape, much of the North went into serious long-term decline. All of those financial crises that seemed to be a thing of the past started to happen again.
Outside the capital, another 1,879 firms went out of business, an increase of 80%.
Tees Street on Merseyside, the street where every householder is out of work. 20 years ago, there were over 14,000 jobs in the shipyards. Now there are 1,300.
They've been looking for jobs for so long, they get to the point where they just totally give up and they got no interest in politics. They think nobody is at all concerned.
We've got to pause because we don't have money to buy food. We've all got to squat because they won't give us houses.
They could pull up their roots and move south where there are jobs, but even if work is available down there, accommodation usually isn't. They are trapped here in a lifestyle from which few, as things are likely to escape.
In a way, I've always thought my job was to build on some of the things that she had done rather than reverse them.
Thatcher herself has been quoted as saying that her greatest achievement was Tony Blair and the Labour Party in 1997. And it's because what she had done was transform the political spectrum. She had moved the once left-wing Labour Party to becoming right-wing neoliberals.
We are on the same side, the same team, and Britain United will win.
Tony Blair went on a spree of selling off our British assets, often to foreign countries. Blair's government doubled down on deregulation and an increasing reliance on the banking sector, turning London into a global financial hub. But this reliance on finance came at the expense of regenerating these post-industrial parts of the UK and further deepened the regional inequalities that started under Thatcher. I talk about this a lot deeper in my North and South Divide video, so I'll link that below. Thatcher did this scheme called Right to Buy, where she flogged off a ton of our social housing stock for massively discounted rates to people. The aspirational working class could now buy a house for the first time ever. This was great. They became the middle class. But realistically, this was kind of short-lived. As people sold off these homes, a massive chunk landed in the hands of private investment firms, who very kindly of them rent them back to the generations now. And so now we see a shrinking middle middle class. But you see, it would be a combination of Blair's policies combined with George Bush's ownership society.
I call it America's home ownership challenge.
That led to loan providers being pushed to back very high-risk mortgages called subprime mortgages.
They call those people Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Will increase their commitment by more than $440 billion.
And because Bush's administration was so reluctant to regulate, before you know it, Wall Street is knee-deep in these toxic mortgages, and very quickly the global economy was a ticking time bomb. A bomb that would explode in 2008.
A history-making 777-point nosedive. The NASDAQ plunged almost 10%.
I think this is the most significant financial crisis in the post-war period.
Nearly 250,000 homeowners are in danger of losing their homes.
The bankers made irresponsible loans to homeowners, permitted them to buy property on margin. Then the housing prices collapsed, the mortgages couldn't be paid, and the banks essentially became insolvent.
In the end, the neoliberal revolution came full circle. All the bullshit, all the rhetoric around, don't worry friends, the free market will self-correct, was in one single crash disproven, as the glorious free market had to be saved by the evil government.
£50 billion of taxpayers' money will be offered to strengthen banks' balance sheets in return for shares.
Effectively, in 2008, neoliberalism died, or at least it fucking should have.
After all, it exposed its central features as, well, just a little bit flawed. But still, it dominates our lives.
From the grave, somehow, it just continued onward. Our neoliberal, small, non-interventionist government took £137 billion of British taxpayer money and bailed out the banks to pay for their greed. Of the 137 billion, 27 billion is still outstanding. And now on top of all of that, we offered around 1 trillion of public money as guarantees to investors. Whilst many Brits were made jobless and some homeless, the banks who had caused the financial crash were paying themselves bonuses. And so you might wonder, did this bailout come with some penalties for the ultra-wealthy? Did they have to suffer at all? And I know you're not going to believe
There, I set a house down.
Not really. In England, we didn't convict a...
There, I did it. I actually managed to get the house down. I wasn't ganked, and I didn't lose 300 gold or anything. And now I have a house. Let's turn on the sound. Hold D to show info on the house. Under construction, 500 health. It needs wood and stone and metal. So let's go get all that wood and stone on the bear. Nice. And we'll do some construction. I've got some picks. Cool, yeah, I built a house, nice, yeah. There's me, I'm right here in the row. Hopefully I meet some neighbors and stuff. Then I can just run out right over here, and I can get to Scoundrels right there, or Bandit Camp right here, or the river. I prefer city life, you know, where I can gamble and I can chop trees. You know, I didn't think about it, but I'm unlikely to be... Ooh, what was that sound? I want enchanters. Yeah, I'm gonna fight that enchanter. What was that sound? What was that sound? Was it my bear? Oh no, stop. Oh, it wasn't that bad. I see movement and I wish to rest. They want 600 kilograms of wood. I don't know how much that is. But let's do that first. I'll just take this stuff. Screw it. Wood. Need to feed my bear. Very good. Then just looking around for that stone stuff, the stone bag that I had. There. I think it's, well, that's metal, but stone is like random pile. See if that stuff feeds it. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's go feed that and just see how it goes. Okay, so I'm out the east side of town. I gotta remember, I couldn't get one by Bandit Camp, but that's alright. We can always travel to Bandit. Bandits are annoying, and there's always 2 or 3 of them. Really, like, running that underground place and ganking people that are doing, their dailies and stuff is a better deal. This is the farthest I've ever been immortal. There's Riley. What was that? Why can't I do anything? Ah! Why did I stop? Don't stop. Okay, 22 wood, nice, so dump. Nice, okay, I gotta pull it all out. Oh, good, random stone. I could just get the stone right out here. Oh, cool. so they don't want that. That stuff can go. Yeah, that won't work. Okay, that's okay. Well, now I know. That's cool. I actually like this system. Actually, I quite might enjoy this. Cool. Look at all that storage. That's way better. I'll learn all the stuff that's around, and I'll like learn what my neighbors are and all this. And, oh yeah. I have a place by Ferburnham now. What was that? I got hurt. So I should kill this enchanter. Ooh, Mithril Beast coin. Okay, cool. So I guess I do bring like all that wood, and I guess I'll have to get stone and metal in the town, right? Oh, what the hell is that? That's a Karai on a horse. I'll go back and I will get 10,000 cuprum, and I'll do all the rest of the chopping out there. Or no, I'll bring all the wood I've got. Fuck it, it's all upkeep anyways. I'll bring wood and cuprum. I'll get the stone out there. Suddenly I like the game a lot more. With the base, it definitely feels a lot better. The game feels better. And it's also like an escorted road. Like it's an escorted road most of the way, all the way to the town almost. Or at least halfway. Halfway to the town, I'm escorted by guards and stuff that I can nut hug if there's somebody trying to fuck with me. It's a good place to live, and I can run over and fish and nobody will probably bother me. So yeah, we're gonna pull out. Like, this place seems sus, like they're ganking right here. I want to pull out. Like, I want to go to a safer bank than that. I've seen that place get ganked so many times. So I'm about to pull out a lot of wood, and I don't want any interference. Alright, so the wood... Or no, first I want to pull out like 100 gold of cuprum or whatever. Let's go do that. Okay, I want to look for cuprum. Yep, and I want the cheapest that you got. 50, 100, 150 for 9 gold. That's the cheapest, huh? I'll buy it. Fuck it. Go to page 2. We're buying more cuprum. Yeah, I want to buy as much of this as I can get. Yep, there we go. That's 3,000 metal or whatever. Yep. So let's take that and all my wood. All my wood, alchemy meats, magic stuff, or wood. Okay, we're gonna take okay, good enough. Let's go. Oh, this is west. I need to go east. You know, while I'm here, I'd like to buy a torch. Okay, I'm moving the most materials I've ever moved in Mortal right now, so we're really gonna pray for, like, no problems. Nope, nope, nope. Stop, stop. Can't go in the water, I'll never get back out again. I'll never get the loot out ever again. I almost lost it all. Did you see it? Jesus Christ, I came so close. Stop, stop. I think I picked a good spot. I couldn't get where I wanted, but I think this is just as good. I don't think I could get a water side, but I could get really close to water, and that you know, that makes me happy. Building a house immortal. Building a house immortal. Okay, putting this materials in. First of all, cube room, add, cube room, add, cube room, add, cube room, add. I'll have to go back. I'll have to buy more, but that's okay. We learned. But I got halfway. So it's about 7,000, 7,500 cube room. I did about 3,000, so I'll need 4,000 more cube room, which will be about another 100 gold. Upkeep. Upkeep per hour, 3, paid upkeep 10. I have 3 hours in there. Let's pay some upkeep there to put a day in. Yep. Then, or well, like, fuck it, I'll just dump this in here or whatever. Yep, just pay like 3 days. That's fine. And then, oh, I like this. It's like Rust, but better. I think I like this better than Rust because it's perma. It's perma house unless somebody takes it from you. Even then, you'd need a siege, and they can't. They'll get slaughtered if they do that. So, okay, good. But you come here. Add. Oh, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change my screen for just a second, guys, because I don't know what the screen is. Okay, sorry, I'll bring it back. Just doing something base-centric there. Okay, good. Now we need stone and metal. Go back and get the metal next. I have to pee really bad, so I'm just gonna go do it. I'll be right back. I don't have anything. Okay. Sorry. Had to pee. Almost time for bed, but I want to get this out of the way. Gotta go get, well, no, I think we're out of the way. I think I paid this, unless somebody else, comes and messes with me. Okay. I mean, it's a little bit of a run to water, but it's not that bad. Yeah, and then right here, I can fish. See? Because the guard's right the fuck there. I can stand right here at the water, and I can fish right here looking at the beautiful sky and all that. I can fish, and I guess I'll get into fishing tomorrow, and I'll just learn what other things this game has. Okay, we are spending money on Cuprum. $38.49. I'm short. Am I short? That's okay. I'm gonna need another 100, huh? What was that? Oh, you killed my... No, my tiger probably died of old age, honestly. Blew through 700 gold like it was nothing. But I knew I would. The rest of this gold. No, the rest of this silver and copper. Oops. Okay, only thing we're missing is stone. $24 days. 25 days. Oh, look, it's sunrise. Beautiful. I have a beautiful view of the graveyard. Hells yeah. Hopefully none of these other buttholes fuck with me. I doubt it. I don't think it matters. None of them have any affiliations either. I can't believe what a good spot I got. So they can't touch this at all, huh? Alright, so... where's the bearer? Yes, bearer, take me... over here. Yeah, is it Granum? It is Granum. Nice, nice. So switch up. Turn off the sound. We'll do 45 more minutes since it was like, it was the night that I stayed up late. I stayed up late on a Wednesday because I know that I'll like sleep late today. And then, and I can't walk today because my, I can feel it. I threw my calf out. But, yeah, I've been walking like 8 miles or something the last 2 days. So today's kind of a lazy day, and I stayed up late because I knew it would be. I did something I've been looking forward to for like 2 weeks, I've been looking forward to it for 2 years now, is building a house in Mortal, but I didn't think I'd ever do it. I just didn't think they would ever take the time to improve the game, you know? Kill the sound and get them started on Granum. This is a big Granum block, too. How long will this one last? We'll see. Maybe I should go up higher. Can I go up higher on this thing? If I go up higher, does it reach more Granum in a big circle? I think it does. So start up here. Let's just let it run a while. Oh, did I close my Eve client? I guess I did. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it really matters. So, Hunter, Enchanter. Look, these things give XP too, so I can just sit here and grind these all day by just like sicking a pet, pretty much. Stealing from them. Stacks of Mithrils like 30k. I suppose I could sneak attack, like, what if it stacks for some reason? Yeah, right. Now, this is a big pile of Granum. I might be able to make some money and some materials off this. We'll bust the bouncer then. What do I care? It's like sick my drone, kill that thing. Sick my drone, kill that thing. Heal the drone. I don't even have to heal the drone. I can just tell the sheep to wait. No, I depleted this fairly quickly, but I mean, it went for a while. Getting Granum lower. It's good. Uh-huh. My question is can I sneak attack him? $175. It wasn't any better. Kill him. Yeah, kill him. Kill my petit kill. Yep, it's a good source of fire crystals. It's a good source of gil. Every 10 you get 1,000 gil or whatever, and it probably starts to sort of add up a bit. Oh, yeah, better switch out. Pet food Zeta. Did the hunter link? Yeah, the hunter linked. Mug this goblin. Okay. I mean, 130 is not that bad for a Kraken club, you know? How's this going? We're depleted. Okay, take me over and we'll dump this in the base. So, oh, 2 rock crystal, nice. Oh, you can get rock crystals from mining? Okay, so I will do those foraging quests then. That's cool. What did that put me at? Like 1/10 of the way, and we got like half an hour left in the shift. Let's see how much stone I can get before I run out. I'll finish up tomorrow. It took me weeks and weeks to save up 700 gold. Because I didn't have like a motivation really, but I have a motivation now. It's hella easy to get scrap and money in this game. It's way more passive than Rust. You just sit there and hit a fucking rock. You don't have to go find rocks. You just hit one rock and you keep doing it. Well, I've killed all the enchanters. The sheep itself is kind of hurt, so we'll use this time to heal it, I guess. Wait for the enchanters to spawn. It's a natural time. I don't think I should stand down, no, because they'll just aggro. The game's got better, I would say. This house makes me much happier. Like, maybe I can focus on a game like Mortal and spend my time, you know. Might as well. It's not like I can't afford it. This'll pay for it, honestly. Can I have more than one house? I don't really see why not. Put them right next to each other. Okay, depleted. I'm gonna run on up here and tag up here, see if I can get something higher maybe over here, like maybe where I didn't reach. Yeah, hey, seems nice and fat and rich. Sweet. I did half his bar now. It's even better when they chase me because the fucking sheep just the sheep just wails on him while he does that. Yeah, like go right ahead. Nice. Maybe I can finish the base before 4. Small, rough adamant. We're 7 gold. Remarkably tough gemstone. We're 7 gold. Sweet. Random lore increased to 95. Yep. Did we aggro because I was sitting? Yep. Okay. Cockskins will sell. The bouncer aggroed, are you serious? It's funny, this game was always like this, but it never really played well until now. It blew my mind when I first played it. I was like, this is so much deeper than WoW. You can farm any wood, you can farm any stone.
Single banker of any wrongdoing, our government chose the route of austerity. We slashed public spending to the absolute bone, and who did it affect? Well, you guessed it, ordinary Brits.
Historians wouldn't say she got everything right. She opposed the reunification of East and West Germany. She called Nelson Mandela's African National Congress terrorists. Margaret Thatcher never held neutral views, and few people were neutral in their views of her.
Thatcher's legacy helped create the fractured Britain that we live in today. It in part led to the rage that created the London riots, the discontent that led to Brexit, as voters wanted to protest against the establishment that it felt had continuously let them down. It no doubt led to Trump in America, or reform in the UK. These strange parties with Frankenstein ideologies, just policies that are based on fear and populism, whatever sounds good in the moment. And what's most interesting to me is that it even seems Thatcher herself misunderestimated neoliberalism. After she lost her mind and thought that she was part of the royal family, then enacted an incredibly unpopular poll tax and the country rioted, she was eventually kicked out of being Prime Minister.
We're leaving Downing Street for the last time after 11.5 wonderful years.
And her legacy is so hated that when she died in 2013, many people from around the country celebrated her death.
A ghoulish caricature of the Iron Lady loomed over the crowd, a gathering in defiance of critics who described the idea of such a party as disgraceful.
For 2 years I've waited for this. I lost my house, I lost my furniture, community's dead, every pub and club's shut, and she did it.
I think that she was to blame for most of the ills in society, and most of the things that poor people and ill people now being blamed for were her fault.
However, as time has passed, her closest allies have revealed that she disliked some of the forces that she had unleashed.
The capitalists have given Margaret Thatcher a bad name, and it's they who should be responsible, not her, because she did not believe in excess. She believed in responsibility.
Some of the arrogant displays of wealth jarred very much with me and with the Prime Minister.
And to me, that's kind of it. That's the nail on the head. Neoliberalism is a game without rules. So while some capitalists will play it respectfully and honorably and create great businesses and treat people well, they don't have to. And the market doesn't really force them to do. It seems that Thatcher just had this British exceptionalism. Just this obnoxious belief that us British people, we're just, we're way too chill to do all the bad stuff. But ironically, her ideology that was obsessed with nationalism has literally resulted in selling off most of our once public utilities to foreign investment firms. 75% of UK rail is owned by foreign money. 70% of English water industries, Heathrow Air...
I'm going to take my pills and get ready for bed. I'm going to grab some yogurt. I'll be right back. I just want to see what farming I can do.
Airport, the British National Grid.
I just want to see what farming I can do in the last 20 minutes. Yep. This thing, maybe we should go back and turn in now, actually. I've got trees all around, which is really good. And no one's gonna fuck with me out here. I bet this is such a quiet little area. As weird as how close it is to town, I bet this place is totally quiet. Yeah. Alright, so come over here, bear. I need you to give me your stone. Stone, metal. Alright, and now we drop stone, add, we got 1/3 of the way. As you can see, the stone is the hard part. Unless you buy it, which I'm sure, matters. So we will dump extra stuff in. And nice. I can sell this wood and purchase stone, which I believe I will do. Let's go do that. Oh, yeah, I need to go put that away. Yep. Okay, oh, and then also, yeah, I guess this thing, I guess we'll sell it while we're in town. I want to turn the sound up again since I'm not mining. Oh, look, over there's animals. Maybe I should spec into mounted archery. I heard that's actually fairly OP. But I don't know. I think that takes quite a lot of time. Will the guard kill me? He's out, maybe far enough away. Could just rob his ass. No, I don't need to bang that guy right out in front of the guard. That just hurts the game. So, yeah, we'll take that and we will sell to the guard. I will keep 100 gold in the bank. We will sell to, go back to slot for a second, go to market, buy orders. We're going to sell wood. Oops. Why page 3? Okay, whatever. Page 2, page 1, and we're looking for gray wood. I have currently wood, which is there. 42 gold. Now we look for granum piles and we buy 2 stacks. Good. And that's a little bit more headway. Sweet. A little bit less farming I have to do. Let's get the fuck out of here. I live out the east side. Yeah, I live out the east side. You know, I have empty slots, and I feel like I should start, like, carrying them. This game's inventory is actually a lot better than most games, because each one of these slots can hold a slot that can hold, I think, like, is it like 36 or something like that? So 36 times 6 ends up being like 180 slots per row. And well, you wouldn't really need that. You wouldn't be able to really because of the weight. I mean, in terms of home storage, you can just keep, I mean, I don't know if there's that many items in the game even, kind of, so I suppose it doesn't really matter. I think the mining should give you clade. Just very, very, very slowly. Okay, we went back and yeah, and here's some more stone, and we're more than halfway, which is good. But we do have to mine more. There's other stone in the area. I guess I'll go run it out. Yep, like this. I don't know if I have enough picks. Oh, I do. Okay. Get up and let's kill stuff. Where are my enchanters at? They're over there, huh? Hunter, Cheta. Okay, I'm gonna grab my pills and some yogurt. Oh, my fucking mouse. Okay, depleted. It's not a bad place in terms of positioning. I'm up on a plateau that connects to a ton of things. I think there's even a bandit camp like right down there actually. So I mean, like, it's really, I'm actually really happy with my positioning. It's a bit of ride to town, but you know, not too bad.
Even our own damn chocolate is owned by Americans. Americans! Have you tasted Hershey's?
It is something that has a chemical in it that...
Oh, I forgot the yogurt.
It's American chocolate.
China own British steel, and they have requested £600 million of British taxpayer money because, you know, the free market is so sick it doesn't need the government, bruh.
Don't you think that's the way to persuade more companies to come to this region and get more jobs as I want them? Not always standing there as moaning ninnies. Now stop it.
And I really want you to remember, right, this is important. Her rhetoric, her arguments, absolutely poisoned and brainwashed the British public into seeing the government as an evil bureaucratic elite. We have to separate the rhetoric from reality. If the government owns utilities, that means that we own the utilities. The profits go to us. Privatization means that billionaires own the utilities. All of the profits and any tax paid on those profits, if they pay any tax, goes to different countries and not Britain, all while they continuously offer lower and lower levels of service for us, the British public.
Since 2020, England's water firms pumped sewage into our rivers and seas for more than 7 million hours.
So right now in 2024, it leaves Britain in a very interesting time. With our new Labour government and Keir Starmer, we stand at a crossroads. And it's hard to know where it's going to go. Controversially, Keir Starmer took down Margaret Thatcher's portrait from his office. And like the optimistic part of me wants to assume that means something. We have to remember, as much as they have failed us in recent years, Labour was the party that bought us the post-war consensus. This was the only period of continued growth, prosperity, and a surprising lack of financial collapses. However, will that 30-year window be just a blip in history? A moment where we almost turned the tide on exploitation and greed? Or could it be our future?
This is a new era. A chance to turn the page on a miserable chapter of decline with a different model of growth, a different set of values, and a different analysis of the state and its role in the economy.
I want to know what you think. Jump in the Discord, we'll chat about this further. Like, subscribe, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Ladies and gentlemen, this great meeting is gathered here tonight to hear the policy and fate of fascism. Send to all the world a message: England lives and marches on!
Oswald Mosley, once a young hunk daddy with charm and charisma, who was positioned to be a future Prime Minister of Great Britain, embarked upon this long and gradual journey into becoming Britain's most hated and feared fascist leader.
The force of his oratory, the power of his intellect are almost universally acknowledged. But Mosley is despised for his disdain for parliamentary democracy, his contempt for Britain's Jews, and his oft-stated desire to maintain peace with Hitler and Mussolini at almost any cost.
Today, we will tell the story of Britain's failed Hitler.
Sound familiar? I'm terrified Trump will do the same thing. He'll be like, I need to back Russia. I need to back Russia. I kind of made deals with him.
Do you understand how Mr. Mosley...
I made deals with him. I can't go back on it. And we're gonna be like, what do you mean you made deals with him? And that's what this guy did with Hitler, and I'm sure that's what Trump's doing with Putin. But I don't know. We don't know.
elite led Britain into playing with the ideas of fascism, we need to get an idea of the era in which this all happened. The 1900s was shaped by the Industrial Revolution. Europe and Britain were now very wealthy. And so the standard of lives improved, not only for the rich elite, but also the lowly plebs were even starting to see that their children were dying less. There was now a middle class. People could eat sugar, more sugar. This sounds very good, but, and there is a but, it wasn't so smooth. You know, in order to make an omelette, you have to break some eggs, and by breaking eggs, it meant destroying the lives of farmers. There was a thing called the Corn Laws that had been repealed. So the Corn Laws basically made it so British farmers had an advantage over foreign import. Them boys were pissed because, you know, now they're all jobless and starving to death. They're now seeing the country is getting wealthier, the aristocrats are getting wealthier, all this new money's coming in, but none of it's being funneled to sort of help these farmers that had just been put out of work. They were just left in ruin, forced to upend their entire lives that they had known living on farms and move towards big cities to get jobs. This is very important for us to understand the mood of an entire nation and its feelings towards an establishment that they perceived to let them down. So now we have the big cities, you know, the fucking mecca of business and trade, the place you want to be. And they were shit. They were really not good. Overcrowded, busy London that's loud, disgusting living standards surrounded by piss and poo. And on top of that, you know, just say that you've finished your 16-hour day at work whilst you're dying of cholera. Your mate Billy just had his arm chopped off in a machine. And then as you toddled on home to your shitty slum, you might walk past a place like Kensington and you'd look around and you go, hang on a fucking second, what's going on here? What's that, a toilet? Running water? And so these people were living in very close proximity to very, very wealthy aristocrats. And so, you know, there might be a little part inside of you that might start romanticizing the days where you're out working the field, dawn till dusk, smelling the fresh air. Yeah, you might have starved to death and lost 5 children in infancy, but at least you're far away from these posh pricks. So just take all that in and just imagine, you know, all this animosity started to give the boys a couple of ideas. And in this time, there was this new sexy, seductive idea floating around called communism.
It saw revolutions in places like France, the German Confederation, the Austrian Empire, and Sardinia. The revolution sought to improve living conditions, settle nationalist questions, and fix government deficiencies.
All right, cool. So we got that out of the way. Now we can focus on your boy Mosley.
Well, met bad men before. The man we're about to meet is the devil.
Born on the 6th of October 1894, it might come as a complete shocker to you, but Sir Oswald Ernald Mosley, 6th Baronet, was a wealthy man. He grew up in Mayfair. That's the expensive place in Monopoly that you convince your little brother to sell to you for the electric company and waterworks. It's a good deal, Billy. Look, you get 2. You get 2 here. I get 1. You get 2. The Mosley name was prestigious in this time. His father was, I'm gonna have to read it, the 3rd cousin to the 14th Earl of Strafford and Strathmore and Kingthorne, father of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. So, you know, he sort of kind of knew the royals, I guess. Anyway, Oswald Mosley started his life very privileged, you know, dick swanging his way into the upper echelons of British society. And he wasn't a layabout. He was pretty techie with fencing. He became like a champion. He was good at boxing. What I'm trying to say is Oswald Mosley was a gigachat. 6'4", charismatic, handsome, athletic, and most importantly wealthy. Oswald had the world in his hands, but then the world went to war.
England declared war on Germany. The First World War has begun.
Without this becoming a World War I history video, I'll give you the long and the short of it. In 1914, the whole world went to war over some largely stupid shit. Now, Mosley was actually already in the army before the war. He was sent to Sandhurst. He managed to get expelled in June because he, like, beat up someone over a game of polo, which sounds incredibly aristocratic. And he had a bit of a reputation for fighting and kind of being a bit of a dick. But 1 month later, he was called back because, as I say, the world went to war. Mosley was a legit war boy, you know, dodging bullets and bombs. He fought in the Western Front in France. And this might surprise you, but it probably wasn't a lot of fun. It probably sucked a little bit. This would have been a very interesting thing because he was an aristocrat. This would have probably been his first real exposure to working class people, at least on a personal friendship level. And probably through speaking to them and understanding them, he started to develop a sympathy for the working class. But you see, Oswald's war career was cut short because one day it was bring bring your mum to work day. The boy hopped in a plane, he was doing some fucking spins and shit, crashed the bugger and broke his leg severely. This gave Mosley a cool, sexy war limp. His leg was still fucked, but they just chucked him back into the front line of war. And at the Battle of Loos, he passed out because of just pain. It was probably around here where the generals looked at him and went, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be in war. And this is where his life would take a completely different turn. Mosley was sent to work desk jobs in the Ministry of Munitions and the Foreign Office. It would be here where he would start to rub shoulders with the political elite. This would lead him to marrying Lady Cynthia, who was daughter to Lord Curzon, who had been an MP, a Secretary of State, and a Lord. So basically Mosley married up, and this was a major deal. When they got married, the King and Queen attended their wedding, and so he started befriending some very powerful people, and it would be really here where he would start politicking. Before we go any further with this video, I want to give a massive shout out to today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is the #1 platform for building a website, and they have loads of new tools, including Squarespace Blueprint AI and SEO tools, where the AI can basically help you design a website that is completely unique and customized to you. And now they have optimized SEO tools to basically help you appear higher in search results. Their flexible payments means that you can use Apple Pay, PayPal, they take loads of different ones. In some countries, you can also do buy now, pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. And then finally, Squarespace AI, which can actually help you with the writing content, you know, product descriptions and just text on the website. It does it really well, and you can just tweak it and change it how you want. So be sure to head over to squarespace.com/JimmyTheGiant, and to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain, use the code JimmyTheGiant. Anyway, back to the video. From my research, I've kind of concluded there's a few different ways that you can look at Mosley's political career. It's probably interesting to take note of this, and as I tell you more of the story, to sort of evaluate it through this lens. You can either see him as like a power-hungry, crazy dictator, or Dicky
like
T,
Trump.
I think the kids call it, who was always like that and was a terrible person from the start. Or you can take the empathetic approach and look at him as someone who had deeply held convictions and beliefs and a vision for Britain.
Are you going to talk about unemployment today?
Why, of course. It is the one problem that really matters today.
Or maybe he was both. On the 14th of December 1918, Mosley became one of the youngest MPs in British history. And before his political ideology had really formed, he just started out as like a standard conservative. However, he did actually have, from the early days, a few disagreements with the Conservative Party. He had this crazy idea that the British state should have some responsibility in looking after the British public. I think you can see this as an early sign in his political career that he had some sympathy for the working class, probably from war. He also disapproved of aliens, not like UFOs and stuff, but Germans. This shows an early skepticism of globalism and outsiders, which is a theme that would remain.
Because he thought that they were reducing wages, underselling goods, ruining English social life, and also spreading disease.
But there was one other issue, which was the most important disagreement he had with the Conservatives, and that was Ireland.
We solemnly declare foreign government in Ireland to be an invasion of our national right, which we will never tolerate, and we demand the evacuation of our country by the English garrison.
Basically, British troops were in Ireland and we were just being horrible. That's kind of an understatement. We were killing people who were innocent. This disagreement Mosley had with the Conservatives would show an early seeds of his disillusionment with establishment politics. You can evaluate his approach to Ireland in two different ways, really. You can either see it that he had some genuine concern for the Irish people. In his book called My Life, he said that it evoked intense moral feeling. However, you can also hear in his own words a more nationalistic attitude, where he kind of saw the treatment of the Irish as bringing disgrace to the British name. He says, again in his book, no empire, no government has long sustained except by power of moral force. And again, it might be a bit of both. It might be that he did feel some compassion, but also he wanted to keep the British Empire looking good and moral. But this is a really important moment. You have to bear in mind, he was a good old Tory boy. Like, he was poised, and many people would say he was going to be a future prime minister. If he just followed the party rule, he probably could have rose the ranks. But when he brought his criticisms to the Conservative Party, they completely turned on him. He was branded as a renegade, kicked out the party, so you can say that his convictions and his beliefs led him to basically losing what was a very good career position. Or you could say maybe Mosley was being a bit of an opportunist. You have to
Okay, guys, it's gotten too late to keep going. I'm terribly sorry. I'm tired, and I've taken my pills, and it's ready for me. I'm ready to go to bed, and you know, you can hear me fading a little bit. Okay, 4 in the morning for me. Yes, I'm sorry. So we are going back. I don't wish to lose this whole thing, but you have been watching Skycat Live. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Put me on the background. You know, come click on the cast face to donate. Come to the Twitch or the YouTube and give me a like, sub, or a follow. I really love what I do. I'm doing Mortal and Eve and FFXI and Skyrim these days. Doing pretty good on all of them. And when Skyrim's gonna sub out for Oblivion and you know and all this stuff yeah. And so I'm going to quit desktop, enter, and 6 gold for some reason. Maybe I should put all this stuff in the chest, huh? Maybe I don't need to do that. Okay, I'm going to get on my bear and I'm going to quit the game. You say 120 seconds. That's acceptable to me. I will. Yes, I will close. Sorry, I'm just like making sure I've done everything. So yes, I believe we have covered everything. So I am going to stop the video here, but just a reminder, guys. I have thousands of videos on my YouTube channel, which I'm very happy about, and yep, get lots of views and stuff. As you can see, getting steady viewership. Thank you so much. And yeah, and so I love you guys. Thank you for your time, and I will be back here tomorrow in about 10 hours. I'm gonna hit the hay. I love you guys. This video is going to stop here.